You and Bart are going to be rolling around in the home.
Okay.
No, let's not get carried away.
Well, that's a great topic.
You're putting
That is
many years on me here.
Well, hold on, though. That's a great topic. You in a assisted living home, and you holding court, and you being pissed off at people. That's a great topic.
Bart's
What does
gonna have an
Bart
illegal
look like
pudding
at
racket.
86? What does an 86-year-old Bart look like in an assisted living home where he's in there holding court and telling people that he's going to run the place? He's going to run the place, and then he's going to maybe get thrown out. Do people get thrown out of assisted living?
They do.
places?
They do. There are many, and I'm one of them. You've been through this with your parents, and I went through it with both my parents. You see some of the most incredible things, some of the funniest things you've ever seen in your life. I mean, and all you can do is laugh when you get in that situation. And I suspect Bart will provide a few of those moments when the time comes, and I hope I do too.
I can see it. Can you see it, Bart?
No,
You
not,
can't.
not right now.
Come on.
No, that's way too far out for Bart. Bart should not think about that.
Well,
Right?
yeah. I'm just talking about you and dealing with people. And
I'm-
get out of my room.
Well, I mean, look, nobody wants to be invaded.
There will always
Well,
be
the good
another
part is
Dutch
you can
house.
say those things at that age and
People brush it
completely
off.
get away with it. I mean, completely get away.
Can you imagine Bart having a podcast at 86 and completely saying
The
whatever
whole
he
world's
wants?
going to hell in a
the whole-
handbasket.
whatever he wants to say. Totally, kind of like the show, but you just another level.
Yeah.
Just on another level. The Chuck and Bo Show on demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Catch up on all 3 hours with the podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
You all right, Arthur?
I am. I'm on the treadmill, so I'm doing okay.
You're on right
I
now.
normally wake up. Yeah, I'm on it right now. I've been on 30 minutes, a little over 2.5 miles, and I'm cooling down a bit, and then I'm going to go move my laundry over and then do some weight training. Because, look, I'm 55 years old, my credit sucks, my future's not too bright, but at least I'm good looking and in good shape.
There you go.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
I'm at my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo
There we
Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Well, I see where Arkansas is going to play North Carolina in basketball. How about that? December 1st at the Dean Dome. The SEC ACC Challenge. That's the first thing I read this morning when I opened up the paper on my phone.
Another big basketball
How's
schedule
it going, guys?
announcement.
I
Go
know.
on.
I'm excited.
How are you doing?
I'm excited. Well, I'm doing well. Let me tell you where I am. Guys, I'm at Mystic Creek Golf Club, or Golf Course in El Dorado. I spoke to a group last night along with Rex Nelson, South Arkansas Now Media Group. And so this morning I'm at the golf course. This is one of the really great courses in the South, certainly in our state. And the sun's just coming up. It's pretty nice. Pretty
That's
nice,
pretty
guys. I
beautiful.
thought about you, Bart. Even miles away, they ask about your golf game.
Yeah, what is the consensus there at Mystic Creek in El Dorado? Beautiful place. I've got the website up right now. I mean, the pictures are beautiful.
It is beautiful.
It's a beautiful.
It
golf
is
course.
beautiful.
And what is the consensus? Is
Well,
Bart
nobody
breaking
thinks.
90?
Well, I don't think Bart's going to break 90. That's the consensus. And it's not that they don't think Bart's a good player. It's not that.
Yeah.
It's just that this is a course that'll bring you to your knees. And so I got to tell you, the consensus is no.
Ugh.
Probably would not break 90.
Well, that's all we need. That is all we need to have another event.
So the challenge has been thrown down,
There it
basically,
is.
is what I'm trying to say. The challenge has been thrown down.
Now, Bart, when you hear something like that,
Yeah,
without knowing, I'm guessing you don't know much about the golf course.
never been there. Never played.
I mean, we could probably pull up the scorecard or the 18
Yeah,
holes here
sure.
online, but
I've heard nothing but great things about the
Okay,
about the
okay.
course. Yeah.
so you know very little about it. But when you hear,
I know it's difficult.
I can't break 90, that's what people are saying.
Yeah.
What is your first reaction to that?
Okay. We'll see.
Here we go.
So,
Yeah,
Cal,
okay.
Did I hear challenge accepted?
You're damn right you did.
Yeah, there we go. No,
Hey,
you just
they'll have a
lit the
spot
fuse.
waiting on you before the summer's over. That was the last word that I got, was that you tell him if he thinks he can do it to just bring it down here, and we'll see how it goes. I'm going to tell you, this is a beautiful layout, though. If you like pine trees, and if you don't like pine trees, don't come to South Arkansas. But this is just, it is a beautiful, beautiful place. El Dorado's got it going on right now.
You can join their mailing list. I see. You just go right to the website, golf. What is that? Golfmysticcreek.com. Golfmysticcreek.com.
Yeah.
Go to the website.
Yes.
Beautiful pictures,
Yes.
but you can sign up on their mailing list. And they've got the Mystic Creek Amateur, Golf Digest, best new golf courses in 2013. That looks beautiful. Are you going to play golf today?
Kenneth Dye Jr. is the designer here. They want all of you guys to come and play down here before the summer's over. So I think we need to plan an outing and
That'd be great.
see if we can't get this done.
So Chuck, what happened? We saw you yesterday morning. We come in today. You're like, hey, I'm not there. I'm at Mystic Creek in El Dorado. How did that
I know.
happen? What did you?
Well,
did you just get a lunch overnight that you're gonna go to El Dorado?
No. This was in the works. You guys knew it was in the works. And spoke to a group last night. Rex Nelson was here. We kind of told some old Razorback stories and had a great time. And gentleman named Mike Poor brought his plane up, flew me down here yesterday.
How about that?
And so then I'll come back here in a little while.
Chuck's got a picture of him flying over Arkadelphia.
Arkadelphia, yeah. Hey, this was
It
so
beautiful.
cool.
It was beautiful.
I had a friend say, "So are you like the co-pilot?" And I go, "I got no choice, man. This is the only seat.
That's awesome.
it's me and the pilot."
I've been
and
there. That's awesome.
there was, you see the clouds, and there were a few thunderheads here and there. And I was a little nervous at first before we went up. I'm not gonna lie, but man, he just made it look easy. I mean, it was like he was just playing a video game.
Yeah,
and the
that's
conversation back and forth. I mean, aviation's got their act together now. I mean, I know there are problems. I guess there are problems here and there, occasionally. But I'm going to tell you, the way they hand each other off from Fayetteville to Fort Smith to Shreveport to Little Rock, and it was just really cool to be there. I enjoyed it.
For those that fly, we've heard. I'm sure you've heard the same thing. You're told there's nothing like it. There's nothing better than learning how to fly and flying an airplane like that. And now, Chuck,
Well,
when
I'm ready to take lessons.
yeah, you got the bug.
Yeah.
When I was
It's pretty cool.
like 20, I was flying around in these small planes doing traffic reports on the radio in Florida with pilots who were getting their hours.
Yeah. Well, that's always a good sign when they're in training.
Yeah, that was the company Metro Networks is who I worked for doing traffic reports for different stations in West Palm Beach, and they said, okay, you're gonna fly and tell us what's going on. Like, we'll send you to scenes, and you can talk about how it's backed up it is or whatever. It's South Florida rush hour traffic. And then so you worked in the morning and then you came back and did the afternoon drive. And they didn't tell me like the experience level of the pilots. So you go to the airport and you get in these planes and it's like, hey man, how long you been flying? Well, about a year.
That's funny. Yeah.
But you're a young kid and it's like whatever and it's fun and everything was fine. Everything was fine. But it's
the
a different
thing that
experience.
I had more than
yeah.
anything yesterday. I had fun.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was fun. That was the highlight of the whole deal for me. I mean, the other stuff was fun, too. Don't get me wrong. Last night, being here, the whole deal. But that plane ride was pretty cool. I like that.
It is a heck of a way to get around. Bart, you think you'd ever be a pilot?
No, I don't think I would be.
That's not on your list.
No, it's not.
A lot of people just get the bug and start taking flying lessons.
I understand
And
that.
then next thing you know, they're flying airplanes.
Yeah, I understand.
And you're going to El Dorado and lickety split, bang.
Yeah.
We go down to Little Rock today. I have a meeting for
I
lunch,
understand.
fly back.
Yeah.
You know, go to Fayetteville from
Mike was
wherever.
Mike was telling me that he got his he has a plane, and he said that he hadn't flown in a little while, and when he knew he was going to come up to Fayetteville, he got the plane out Sunday. Went out, flew around for a little bit. I take the car out for a spin. I'm going to go take the plane out for a spin today. And he goes, whenever I've got somebody that's going to fly with me, I like to go out a day or two before and kind of make sure my skills are sharp, because you got somebody else, going up in the air with you. I'm like, well, that was awfully nice of you. That was good of you to do that. So it worked out well. His skills were sharp, and everybody's safe.
You showed some guts yesterday. I'm proud of you. You just got on there and went for it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's
Hey,
fantastic.
you got to do it,
Yeah,
man.
well,
You gotta do it.
you got to live on the wild side every once in a while. A little
That's
different
right,
than when
that's
you're in
right.
your
It was
20s. A little different wild side. Arthur's phoned in.
Well,
on
it
a
is,
Friday.
yeah.
Yeah, it is. It's. I'm glad you're there. I want to.
Thank you.
I want to take you up on this. We'll get Bart down there to break 90. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Arthur with his annual weekly call on Friday morning. Arthur, what's on your mind today?
Not a lot really. I would like to, me and Chuck are definitely on the same side with this basketball thing. I got a good price on the Knicks, and I jumped on it, and I don't think we'll see. I got value there, and if all goes well,
Wait,
that's
you're
gonna
going
pay
to
for
the game?
No, I got value. Value in a gambling sense. I got them at plus 181 before the series started, and if God willing, if they win, that's going to pay for my new color TV. And that's what I'm doing. I'm just changing all my addresses and stuff. So that's kind of where I'm at. I wasn't too impressed with Nick Saban speaking to Congress about how things are so messed up because of money when this is obviously someone who is taking advantage of the system. And, for everybody that says the players make too much, I'm sure there's just as many people that say this bidding war for coaches is really where it all started to go downhill. So I'm like, well, I don't know if it'll help. I would like to see what happens if Arkansas has a moderately successful season, which I think they will, an 8-4 record.
Wow.
Without
Whoa! You think Arkansas football is going to go 8-4?
Yeah, we went over the schedule a couple of weeks ago, and
I don't know. I slept since then. I've forgotten about that, and I wanted to make sure you said 8-4, and then I wanted to make sure you said moderately successful. That would be moderately successful.
That was the part that jumped out to me. 8-4 being moderately successful.
Well, I would think 8-4 is not like a playoff, but I just would, if we went 8-4 with the rules, with there being no rules, I think the money would pour in, and I don't think we should just jump off the ship because we've had a few, maybe 10. When did Petrino get fired? Outside of one season, we're at the low point, and we still put together a pretty good roster in this environment. And I think if Arkansas went in 8-4, I think the no rules thing would really benefit us. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but I just don't want to put a cap on things when we haven't really had a chance to come together as a state and really buy a good team. The people that have money have put in a lot of money. That's not what I'm saying, but it could be more, and I appreciate it that they do that too. But there was something else I was going to say.
Well, while you're thinking about that, I'd like to point out a couple of things. If they go 8-4, we should host a parade. Okay, there should be a parade. They should shut down Dixon Street, and there should be a massive party. 8-4. It would be an incredible season, given everything you just described of where the program's been. I also want to point out Arkansas's got more money in football than they've ever had, and it's not even close. They've actually done a really good job raising money for football. In fact, there's a story out
100%.
today that they had a goal of $30 million towards the overall football budget, not exclusively NIL, but the overall football budget to raise $30 million for the next 3 years, and they're already at about $22 million. We are actually a bit at a bit of a misunderstanding, I think, in how much money Arkansas has actually raised. And it's not about people saying players shouldn't make this much money on your other point. It's more about regulating, what we're all doing and what are the parameters that everyone competes in. You're right about coaches, but there's a lot fewer head coaches than there are football players. There's one head coach to a team. There's 85 scholarship players. So that creates a tidal wave in a way that head coaches, yes, their salaries are crazy, but it's not the same level of comparison when it comes to how much each player versus each coach is making.
Okay. I feel like they put together a very good roster, and I disagree with someone else that covers Arkansas that they should have gone out and got some high-dollar quarterback. I don't know if the quarterbacks that are out there this year are any better than KJ Jackson. I mean, LSU paid a boatload of money for a quarterback with a 150 QBR rating. I would be curious as to what KJ Jackson's QBR was in the games that he played. I really like this defense, and I think they're really going to show out that first real game against Utah. I just think this is a lot stronger team than people give it credit for. They were not that far away. If we would have just had a few more defensive players last year, 8-4 would have been very doable. I mean, Notre Dame, they got stomped, but everybody else, if the defense had just been 3 points better, maybe we would have finished 8-4. I like our running backs. I like our O-line. I love our receivers. I especially like the defense. And for the first time, I don't know if you've seen this defensive line, but they definitely fit they're like a team full of Ernest Mitchells.
Man.
It's like
You were on it.
a long time.
Chuck, he is on it.
Wow.
I mean,
I know.
Arthur is wound up about football. Remember when the call started? He's like, what's on your mind?
I know.
Not much. That was like
He talked
50
himself
minutes
into it.
ago.
He talked himself into it.
That was awesome. Arthur, thank you. You got anything? You got any closing comments?
Yeah, I sent in I screenshotted my bet on the Knicks yesterday, so you guys can take a look at that and the value I
saw
got
it.
there.
Wow.
Okay, and
I did not see that.
so the empty spot on this wall that's going to be filled in about 2 weeks with installation.
Arthur working for a new television on the
He
NBA
is,
Finals.
man.
Working
He's
on the
doing
NBA
it.
Finals
He's doing it.
for a new
He's a hustler.
color
I like
television.
it. I like it.
He's
I
got a
admire you,
plan.
Arthur.
He's got a plan. We talk about discretionary funds. He's trying to turn his discretionary funds into a big screen TV. I mean, it's a noble goal. It's a noble goal.
Yeah.
Chuck's at the Mystic Creek Golf Club in El Dorado. Beautiful facility.
Yeah.
And I was down there for an event last night. We have what we call Wide Open Friday here. That means whatever's on your mind. You don't even have to be on topic. Like, clearly, Arthur had several topics. You can have as many or one, whatever you want to get into. But we got a lot to talk about. Basketball is at the front of the mind. The NBA draft's coming up. What's Arkansas's roster look like? And the schedule's getting filled out, which now includes, as Chuck started the show with, a trip to Chapel Hill to play North Carolina on December 1st. So yet again, this will be a bonanza in the non-conference to pay attention to. It's 6:18.
The Dean Dome.
I mean, Cal's like, listen, you want to go on a ride? I'll take you on a ride.
Yeah,
We'll take you
that's
around
right.
the
That is
country
the
to
truth.
places you've never been to before. 6:18,
That
good
is
morning.
the truth. Yeah, what's your
Yeah.
point?
You want my point?
Yes, I asked for it. Make
Here's
it.
my point.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oakland is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
If you haven't tried a flight by Yingling, you're missing out on the great taste of Yingling that is a light beer. It's the next generation of light beer. Get it on draft, in the can, the new skinny cans, and now the new 16-ounce resealable twist-off aluminum bottle. Perfect for any occasion. It's just 95 calories, and you're still enjoying a Yingling. Take your beer game to new heights with Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer.
Life is better with community banking from First Security, where personal connections make a difference every day. Families get bankers who know their names, know their needs, and love to help. Businesses work with responsive lenders who make fast local decisions that help build success. And communities thrive with First Security because our team is rooted here too. Choose the power of personal. First Security. Bank better. FSbank.com, member FDIC.
Hey, it's Bo, and what if home meant waking up to bent grass fairways, mountain views, and a community that actually feels like one? Big Creek Golf and Country Club in Mountain Home, Arkansas has just released brand new home sites right on the golf course. The first new construction in 20 years. These are premium properties in a safe, welcoming community surrounded by the natural beauty of the Ozarks at a price that might surprise you. Go big and go home. Visit BigCreekGolf.com today. That's BigCreekGolf.com. Just so you know, and we've talked about this from day one on the show, nobody's safe in here.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Customer service is a buzzword. People just throw it out there. What is it to you?
Showing up when you say you're going to show up, returning phone calls, providing the service that you promised to provide. Because, I mean, if we're all asking to get paid for what we're doing, we need to do what we're getting paid for. And do it with a good attitude and being responsible, not only responsible to show up, but responsible to the relationship.
A relationship you can count on from Clay Maxey and the folks at Teamwork Roofing and Construction. TeamworkBuilt.com. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. You know, fine jewelry is about more than just a beautiful piece. It's about the experience of finding it. I did that with Blakeman's. They are the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Blakeman's has been Northwest Arkansas's trusted destination for exceptional jewelry, providing our community with over 35 years of personalized service, world-class diamonds, and crafted custom pieces. Discover the difference of a true luxury experience at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers. Blakeman's, where Arkansas gets engaged.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today.
Imagine raising your family somewhere safe, welcoming, and genuinely beautiful, where the kids have room to roam, the neighbors know your name, and the weekends are spent on the golf course, the lake, or the trails. That's Big Creek Golf and Country Club in Mountain Home, Arkansas, a vibrant community with year-round events for all ages, world-class outdoor recreation, and brand new home sites now available for families ready to put down roots. Small town, big life. Visit BigCreekGolf.com today and get more info.
Never miss a moment of the show thanks to the Chuck and Bo Show on Demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
You've been thinking that you travel a lot, and we were wondering if it'd be okay if you just shared your location.
Yeah, probably not. But
just in case anything happens.
Yeah, I
just with the family here.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
I mean,
Would you mind sharing your location with us?
I would mind. Yeah.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's at the Mystic Creek Golf Club. Cal's in Central Arkansas doing camps. He was on the buzz yesterday talking about the camps. And one of the things that he brought up voluntarily, I went back and listened to most of the interview this morning. One of the things he brought up voluntarily was the construction of the roster. Chuck, do you feel like, I feel like that we have this scenario where Razorback fans we all thought and talked about they've got to have a certain kind of big to really make this roster complete in their mind. Would you say that's fair? We all kind of had that in our mind, and I think the conversation with a lot of Hog fans right now is did the Razorbacks do what they needed to do in the offseason to make us feel like we can go further than the Sweet 16? Am I summarizing this correctly?
No, I think you're on target there. I think that's the way a lot of people.
So here's what Cal said yesterday. We lost you there for a second, Chuck. Here's what Cal said yesterday on this topic.
We're going to add one, maybe two more guys to the roster, but I don't just add to add. So if the team doesn't look like somebody thinks it should look, that's okay, because I've had all kind of teams like that. I've had teams that literally Anthony Davis wasn't a center. We won the national title, but we had a bunch of guys around him so that he could be who he was, or a Carl Towns who wasn't a beast, who, was a young 18-year-old. So I've done this different ways. I've done it with 3 point guards on the same team. I've done it with 2 guards playing point guard. What you want to do is make sure you get good people with good hearts who can be good teammates and have a special thing that they do that's different than everybody else on the team.
So he likes his team.
Well, and I like the fact that he says if people don't like the way the roster looks, that's okay, because I'm fine with it. And I think, look, it's only natural as a fan when your team doesn't go as far as you want them to go. You want your team to be able to next year move further. You identify what you think's the reason they didn't go any further, and then you want them to address that during the offseason. And that's just being a fan. But, Cal knows what he's doing. And if he says he likes his team, and if he says I got a good enough team to do what I want to do, then I'll trust that. I'm sure he would have loved to have had a dominant big. Everyone would love to have a dominant big. But do you go out and spend money you don't have, or spend too much money for a guy that's really not quite as good as maybe what he's asking for? I'm not sure what the answer is there, but if he says he likes his roster, that's good enough for me. I mean, it really is.
I think guys in the portal get in trouble when they chase names, or they chase what they think they got to fill their roster with without that person fitting the kind of person that you want to have on your roster. When you get desperate or start chasing and just putting guys together, and you're like trying to create this all-star team, but you have maybe a character concern, or you wonder if this guy's really going to fit, but you do it, that you can get yourself in trouble. And sometimes it works out, and sometimes it gets you in trouble. With Cal, he seems to have, he's a Hall of Fame coach. He knows what he wants on his roster, the kind of person he wants on his roster. And to his point, there's a lot of different ways you can win. And it may not look exactly like we draw it up, but you don't know until you see a team play, like how good they're going to be. And the makeup of that team, of different teams, aren't all the same. You don't all just have a classic post-up big guy, another guy that's like a stretch four, and then, a slasher and a shooter, and then a point guard. There's a true point guard. You don't always have that. Not all great teams have that. There's different ways to build it. And I think we get ourselves in a box, so it's got to look a certain way. And I think some of that comes from because of the issues they've had getting out rebounded the last couple of years here and there, or not being able to score inside at will, or other teams having that, and they were the teams that gave you the most trouble.
Well, when I look at how the season ended last year, when they played Arizona, if you had added a center to the Arkansas mix, would they have won the game? I don't know. I don't think so. Just to be perfectly honest,
those guys were so
I think
big
Arizona
and
was
versatile.
better.
Yeah.
I think Arizona was a better team. So I don't think that's the reason, frankly, that Arkansas didn't advance to the Elite Eight last year. I thought Arizona was better than Arkansas in more than one area. And I'm not saying Arkansas was bad. I just thought Arizona played lights out. the night Arkansas played them, and they were the dominant team. And I don't know that a center that night would have made Arkansas appreciably better or a more dominant center. Maybe it would have. But, it's not like they got a bunch of little guys. It's on this team. It's not like it's a bunch of guards. I mean, you have 7-footers on this team. You have big guys on this team. They'll be fine in that area.
877-377-6963. If you want to get in here, it's 629. Chuck's at Mystic Creek in El Dorado. We're brought to you in part today by Teamwork Roofing and Construction. If you need a roof, you need a remodel, and you don't have the money right now, let's say, you've got a check coming, a bonus check down the road, or you're saving, but you could really use some work done right now. They can help you with that with options like 0 down, 0% for 12 months, or low fixed payments over time, no payments for 60 days. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, they're premier certified contractors for both Malarkey Shingles and McElroy Metal Systems. They only use the best materials and licensed crews. They're going to do what they say. They're going to show up on time and on budget. And you can log on to their website, learn more at teamworkbuilt.com. Teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, they're built on quality and powered by teamwork. Friday morning, good morning.
I've got a lot more rhythm than people realize.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com. Hey, it's Bo. What should you expect when it comes to a roof or a remodel? Here's Teamwork's COO, Brett Husky.
We make it easy. That's the first thing. Because when we looked at this, we felt like the process shouldn't be hard. And the easier we can make it for customers, the easier it makes it for us and for our people to continue to do business.
Teamwork Roofing and Construction, making it easy, and now offering financing. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by Teamwork.
Hey guys. You're having a great show today.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
What has the impact been? I mean, we could talk about, I know you wanted to win more games and how hard you guys fought in that game against Nebraska and how much it probably took out of you. We could go over all that. But what has it been like in the aftermath here since you've gotten home? You're talking to people, I'm sure, about next year and all that. What do you think the impact was of getting to go to the College World Series for the first year on this continuous journey you've got the Arkansas softball program on?
Well, I think we're still feeling the impact. I think it's been incredible to see the reach. Obviously, we were the most viewed opening day game in World Series history. So there's so many people that got to see our fight and all of that. But, I think, we'll be in a lot of recruiting conversations starting next week. And I think that we're going to really feel that impact because that was the only thing you couldn't check with our program. It's a place where you're going to be loved, you're going to be pushed, you're going to be developed, you're going to play elite softball, you're going to win a lot of games. And there was they haven't been to the series. And now we've checked that and we know how to get there, and experiencing getting there is so valuable. And so, I think it's been amazing to feel and see, and my phone is still going of just the outpouring of support and encouragement for our program, how we do things, what we did, the amazing year we had, but how we do things is really refreshing to a lot of people. And for me, it's great to hear that, but I know that, so so it's been fun. It's been overwhelming, just the amount of just communication, text message calls, all of it. And then I'm hoping we can continue to feel that impact as we need momentum as we go into the portal and all those things.
Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're looking for tough, reliable equipment for people you trust, WT Equipment delivers. WT Equipment is a local, family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas, and they've built their reputation by carrying the brands you know and depend on. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, and Steel, they have the equipment and implements to get the job done right. Whether you're tackling a big job or everyday work, WT Equipment offers a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance, including compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more. Their lots are packed and ready to move with special deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built to handle any job you throw at. Nobody does light construction or hay and forage better than WT Equipment. Backed by trusted service and support long after the sale. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location today or log on to WTEquip.com. Tools you trust and people you know.
Never miss a moment of the show thanks to the Chuck and Bo Show on Demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
I am not a planner, and that's the problem.
How does that, this may be a little personal, sorry. How does that work in married life if you're not a planner?
Well, evidently not well.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, it's a wide open Friday. I'm in El Dorado, Arkansas, South Arkansas, and fun this morning. Sun's coming up at Mystic Creek. Going to be a beautiful day. It's going to be a great weekend, and glad to be here. Hey, they're ready at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Can you say it's house buying season? Can you? I don't know if there's a house buying season or not, but maybe there is. We're just going to call it that. And really, it's that way every day at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. Here's the thing about buying or selling a home. There's a lot of money on the table, probably the most money you've ever spent, at least in many cases. And they're always understanding of that, and they always will make certain that whether you are on the selling side or on the buying side, that you are well represented. They've been doing this since 1978. That's how long they've been turning houses into homes. They're in Washington and Benton counties. They're in Fort Smith. They're in Branson. And you can always log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
Chris Lowe coming up from On 3, covering college football, longtime ESPN reporter at 7:30. Connor O'Gara, host of the OG Kickoff on Next Round Live, longtime reporter for Saturday Down South. Both great guests of the state of college football, and maybe less about the business of college football, but what are we thinking about this year in college football? Arthur called in earlier. He had Arkansas. He's a believer in the roster.
I know he is.
At 8-4. I'm a believer in the way Ryan Silverfield does things, and his approach and what he's done off the field in a short amount of time in terms of personnel, acquisition, the players they've gotten in, and then what he's done out from a fundraising standpoint. I know this may not be something that people are really thinking about, and they may find it slightly unbelievable. Arkansas is actually in the best financial position they've ever been in the history of the football program right now. And they have more resources than they've ever had before. That doesn't mean that you come in here in year one with, 5 minutes to get ready for a recruiting class and 15 minutes to get ready for the portal, that you ended up with the best roster you could possibly end up with. But I think they ended up with some pieces, and I think it's hard for us to wrap our head around what that's going to look like because we know so little about it. But I do think that the program has kind of turned and is headed in a direction that's modernized to where we are in college football today. And I don't know if anybody realizes that, because I don't know how you really could unless you were really paying attention, or you're kind of in the middle of it. But from just digging around a little bit and talking to people, Chuck, I don't know what it'll be like this year, but I think in terms of where you've got to be in today's world, they've turned the corner and they're in the right lane, if that makes sense.
I think that's fair. And I think it's also fair for fans to say, we want to see results on the field, before we're going to start buying into all that. The thing that we don't know, and this is always the wild card going into any season, but it's particularly true in the transfer portal NIL area, you don't know what people have. You don't know what you have. You don't know what they have. They don't know what they have. You don't even know what you have, probably, until you start playing games. So there is a wild card to it now. That's also, gives you some opportunity, maybe some hope. Here's the thing that I hope we see out of Arkansas football next season. I don't know how many games they're going to win. I don't know how it's going to go from a one-loss perspective in Silverfield's first year. Here's what I do know.
Chuck, we're losing you. Sorry, we need to reconnect him. It's just gotten to where the internet connection is unlistenable. Just pot him down and let's figure out, because I don't want to cut him off in the middle of a point, but when we can't really understand it, we can't hear it. We'll get that established. Every once in a while, the internet does what the internet does, and you got to deal with it, and that's what we're doing now. Chuck's on location at Mystic Creek in El Dorado. Had an event there last night. Beautiful place in El Dorado. And it's a wide open Friday here on the show. Edward, you came across something that I thought was pretty epic. The internet delivers sometimes. Every once in a while, the internet. Actually, there's a lot of positives. You can get news, and the actual news, not fake news. You can get hilarious moments on the internet, and we had one yesterday. So, what is it you were showing us earlier today?
I was doing my morning scroll, and I saw some NBA news unrelated to the finals that was pretty funny. So Kevin Durant, this is from Daily Mail, was seen leaving Nobu Malibu, which I'm assuming is some kind of
that's a high-end restaurant.
Fancy place. It was seen leaving with an unidentified woman. Durant reportedly hid behind a bush to avoid the paparazzi taking pictures
of them together
before they both got into the same car and drove off. And the best part of this is the picture that the paparazzi captured of Kevin Durant hiding behind said bush, because he is 6'11". You can see him peeking out.
See him in
behind the foliage.
Yeah, his head.
Yes.
You can see his head above the, just barely above the bush.
Yes.
It's like being a kid when you're playing hide and seek and you think you're hidden, but you're not.
No.
You know what I mean? You went
Where's
over
Kevin?
He's right there.
Kevin, come on out.
It's so bad. It's so hilarious. It turns out the picture's even better than it would have been if you just got them walking together. You got to post this. You got to post this on our social media pages so people can see it, because it truly is the visual that makes it great.
Also, the word is foliage.
I know.
We've been over
I
this.
said it wrong on purpose. It's a bit. You ever heard of a bit?
Well, here's how good I am.
Callback?
Here's how good I am. I didn't even notice that you said it wrong.
Well, Riley hasn't been here enough to be laughing. She doesn't even get it. And then Bart likes to make fun of people.
No, I was just laughing at you.
What did you call it?
Foliage.
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 Because it's a bit.
And it's called what?
Foliage.
Foliage?
Foliage.
Foliage. And he called it
foliage.
Foliage.
I don't think it matters.
I'll cue up the rejoin so everybody can remember that.
I don't think it even matters.
No, it doesn't.
I think it's
we have people in the room who want to make fun of people.
They were shrubs. Well, I mean, that's the show.
that's literally all we do all day, every day.
Yeah. There's like show notes and then making fun of each other. That's kind of what it comes down to.
And most of the days, the show notes don't get used.
The breaking news of the last 24 hours is the Arkansas basketball team will face North Carolina in the SEC ACC Challenge this upcoming season, per a report from John Rothstein. It'll be played on December 1st at the Dean Dome in Chapel Hill. which, by the way, Cal yesterday mentioning also they're going to secure another home game, and it sounds like that could be a big-time opponent, but it's not done yet, and another neutral site game. So the schedule's not entirely filled out yet, even with the Arizona game being scheduled. And who else? Who else do we have? Who am I? North Carolina?
Michigan State.
Michigan State. Is there another one? Michigan State's on Thanksgiving in Detroit. So potentially 2 more marquee non-conference matchups, one of which would be at Bud Walton Arena. Arkansas softball assistant coach DJ Gasso, who dubbed Bart the softball guy here on the show.
Shout out, Bart, softball guy.
Has apparently accepted the head coaching job at Tulsa. That was reported by Justin McLeod at D1 Softball yesterday. DJ Gasso apparently getting his first head coaching gig. I believe he's 32. We said it this year. This guy's going to be a head coach. I didn't know it was going to be in 5 minutes, but I knew it would be relatively soon. And that's a loss for the Razorbacks, which I'm sure Courtney Deifel will have a great selection of people she can hire given the success they've had. But DJ Gasso did a great job here, son of Patty Gasso, and good for him getting his first head coaching job. College World Series is over. Texas Tech did not win. Did that make you happy, Bart? They had a big error last night. They ended up losing 4-1 to Texas.
It did. It did my heart good to see Texas Tech lose. It did not do my heart good to see Texas win. But I mean, I think I chose the lesser of two evils in that. At least when it comes to softball. I'm not gonna lie. The error, the throwing error with the bases loaded. Now it wasn't Taylor Panel's fault, but after the whole just making up a story that didn't happen with Tennessee and all that nonsense, that made me laugh a little bit when that happened. I laughed. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, what would you say happened there?
Well, I mean, it was the throwing error by the shortstop, but the ball went by.
Yeah.
Taylor Panel.
But
and so
your favorite word starts with a K. I don't like to use it.
Karma?
Yeah, is that where you're headed?
Yeah, I mean, I literally laughed out loud when it happened.
Of course you did.
I was like, yeah, that's what you deserve. That's what you get.
So Texas got the job done. You can get the job done with WT equipment. I hate even saying that. Texas got the job done.
Yeah,
Back-to-back national titles. But now the girls seem nice on the team, when they're doing their interviews.
They've got a good team. They've got a really good team. A team that Arkansas went to Austin and beat 2-1.
Every job has its challenges: tough terrain, tight spaces, short timelines. Whatever the obstacle, Bobcat's ready to get the job done for you. WT Equipment's family-owned, locally operated. 4 locations throughout Arkansas. Whether you're running a farm, managing a job site, or taking care of your own land, WT Equipment has the tools to help you get the job done. Trusted brands like New Holland, Hustler, Steel, and the legendary Bobcat. Log on to WTEquip.com, and they can help you get the job done today. Chuck's in El Dorado at Mystic Creek. We're in studio. It's wide open Friday. If you want to get in here, it's 877-377-6963.
Here we go.
Stuart.
Let's take some personal shots. You want to? I mean, come on. Let's take some personal shots, Adam.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Great people, great prices, and plenty to pick from. You got it all at Fayetteville Auto Park. Acura, Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas, even a collision center, all at one location. Shop new, used, and certified pre-owned. Plus, Fayetteville Auto Park has hundreds of new and pre-owned automobiles with big discounts starting at under $30,000. Shop our complete selection online at FayettevilleAutopark.com. That's FayettevilleAutopark.com.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins.
Experience football game days on the Hill this fall as head coach Ryan Silverfield leads the Hogs into 2026. Great home matchups line the 7-game slate in Fayetteville, including kickoff in Arkansas on September 5th, the SEC home opener versus the Georgia Bulldogs on September 19th, and a Thanksgiving weekend rivalry battle with the LSU Tigers. Season tickets start at just $300 and are available now at ArkansasRazorbacks.com.
Hey, it's Bo, and it seems like every day somebody else is asking me about the Sweat 'N 'em Edge. It's real. It's a new me. It can be a new you. It's completely changed my energy level and my exercise gains. My mind's clearer. I sleep better. Life's just more enjoyable. If you get drained in the afternoon, or maybe you just can't shake that weight, do what I did. Take the Sweat 'N 'em Edge. It's a free consultation. You get your results, and they'll give you a game plan. Just search the Sweat 'N 'em Edge or log on to sweatnumcosmetic.com.
At Pascal, comfort and quality are well within reach. For over 50 years, homeowners have trusted them for world-class service. Every detail matters. Right now, get a brand new high-efficiency AC and furnace system starting at just $79.99, with payments as low as $100 a month. No shortcuts, no surprises, just Pascal quality at a price more families can afford. Same week installation is available, so click over to gopascal.com to schedule. This is Chuck Barrett, and I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye Associates for my recent cataract surgery. They took great care of me. You have to have good vision to be the voice of the Razorbacks, and I'm glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye. I learned patients of all ages have a lot of options when it comes to modern surgery to reduce or even eliminate your eyeglasses. They've been taking care of patients for over 50 years, and that says a lot. So for your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at mcdonaldeye.com. Don't be talking down to people, Bart.
I ain't going to talk down to people when they're wrong.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Baseball taught me teamwork, dedication, and the power of community. That's why I'm teaming up with Pascal ProPath to give back to charities that give every kid a chance to play. And right now you can pitch in. For every Pascal member signed up today through the end of May, Pascal will donate a portion of every membership to give back to youth sports. Become a member today, help give back in a big way. Pitch in with Pascal ProPath and help support kids in your community. Join today at pascalpropath.org.
Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to jamesboyett.com. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
There's nothing like a day at the pump.
Cold Yingling Lager, first pitch. That's how you start it right.
From the oldest brewery in America, it's smooth, balanced, and built for baseball.
But you know how it gets out there. That Arkansas sun's no joke.
That's why you bring a backup plan.
Yingling Light Lager, crisp, refreshing, and ready when the heat kicks in.
Start with lager,
switch to light lager,
and stay cool from the first pitch to the final out. Proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
We're running out of time for the fall foliage.
Fall what?
Foliage.
Okay. Is it foliage or foliage?
It's foliage.
Foliage.
It's three syllables.
Foliage.
Foliage.
Foliage. It's foliation.
Foliage.
Yeah. Foliation.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Hey, guys. I think we're back. Maybe temporarily. How do we sound?
Well,
do we sound okay?
It sounds good at moments.
I'm so sorry.
And then it just
sounds robotronic.
It breaks up a little bit. I know. It's just one of these
Sounds like
things where
Claude.
it's before the show. You sounded like $1 million. When the show
I'm
started, you
sorry.
sounded like 50, and right now you sound like $400 or $500. I mean, you sound pretty good right now.
Okay, well, good. I mean, I've stepped outside. Basically, is what's happened, and I'm right by the green, right by the putting green here at
You should
Mystic Creek.
actually-
So
you should
we'll
putt.
get the camera back up here in just a few minutes.
You should
So this is really nice, though. I mean, it really is. The mist, kind of coming off the turf out there, looks great.
Set the scene for us. I know you just did, but can you expand on Mystic Creek?
Well, Mystic Creek, I am told that this is about the most difficult track that you're going to find in this part of the state, maybe this part of the country. I'm looking out right now at right at the number 1 tee box. It's a par 5, and it's dogleg to the right. I'm told that you can stripe a drive right down the center and still be 275, 300 yards out. So it's a long one. And evidently there are many, many holes on this course that are like that.
I think on
Maybe not necessarily
courses
par
like,
5s,
yeah,
but they're challenges.
Yeah, I think on courses like that, depending on what level you are as a golfer, you should be allowed to pull out a tee and re-tee it again if you hit the fairway. Like just re-tee it and hit your driver again.
Yeah.
That would make it more. See, this is like some
Well,
people
you
have
know-
gotten creative with golf for amateurs, and I'm all for stuff like that.
That's always fun to do. You get out in the middle of the fairway and see all the little broken tees out there. Guys who teed it up right in the middle of the fairway.
Or you just take your foot and create a nice tee in the ground. For some
Oh,
people
yeah.
that can do
That's
that.
right.
All right, Chuck's at Mystic Creek. We're approaching 7 o'clock here. It's a wide open Friday. Basketball is going to go to North Carolina and play at Chapel Hill. That's the next marquee matchup they've announced on the schedule. That'll be December 1st. Good morning.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Man, I love spending time at Big Creek Country Club and Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark. Members enjoy it all. They've got state-of-the-art practice facilities, dining, events, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, as well as tennis and pickleball courts. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. Big Creek Country Club and Mountain Home. Your home away from home.
You know, I love talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, and Bo's latest selling experience is a perfect example of why. Within 5 minutes of listing his home, Bo had a showing, and just 2 days later, he had an offer. And just like my own experience with them, they took care of everything from start to finish. That's what you get when you work with a trained real estate professional. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, has been turning houses into homes since 1978, serving Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and Branson. For more information, log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
Interviews, highlights, behind-the-scenes access, and so much more. Varsity Vibe is your go-to for high school athletics in Arkansas. Learn the stories of coaches and players in our Varsity Vibe podcast. See the biggest plays and the best performances highlighted on our social media platforms. And if newsletters are more your style, we've got that too. High school sports at your fingertips. Varsity Vibe, elevating the game.
I don't know if anybody else is having fun, but this is a blast for me.
Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas fans know that some things are just timeless, like a spring afternoon at Baum Walker or the roar you only hear at Bud Walton. Our friends at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry believe your milestone should be just as enduring as the Razorback spirit. They've spent over 35 years helping fans celebrate their big moments right here in Northwest Arkansas. Whether you're marking a graduation, an anniversary, or just a big Saturday in the SEC, let their teams help you find that perfect piece. This spring, go big, go bold, and go to Blakeman's in the heart of Pinnacle Hill. Hills.
We talk a lot about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because our experience has been great. And Bo, you're going through it again right now.
For the second time. My son's a first-time home buyer. Him and his wife got a beautiful home. And for me, I just turned it over to them. They gave me a few things to sign, and it took all the work off my plate. And I just sit back and watch it happen.
That's what happens when you deal with a trained real estate professional. And that's what they are at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
At First Security Bank, banking isn't one size fits all. It's personal because everyone's financial journey looks a little different. From managing day-to-day spending, running a small business, to helping your kids learn more smart money habits, or taking that big step toward buying a home. At First Security, you get the services you expect, the technology you need, and the real support of local people who live here, know the community, and take the time to understand what you're trying to accomplish. Life moves fast, and having a bank that moves with you makes a difference. Whether you prefer stopping by a branch, banking on the app, or picking up the phone to talk with someone who actually knows your name, First Security is there. They offer smart tools like mobile banking, bill pay, and mobile check deposit, along with thoughtful solutions like flex banking for kids, checking built for small businesses, and local mortgage lenders who guide you through the home buying process. Choose the power of personal. Bank better at First Security. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You and Bart are going to be rolling around in the home.
Okay.
No, let's not get carried away.
Well, that's a great topic.
You're putting
That is
many
a
years on me here.
Oh, hold on, though. That's a great topic. You in a assisted living home, and you holding court, and you being pissed off at people. That's a great topic.
Bart's
What does
gonna have an
Bart
illegal
look like
pudding
at
racket,
86? What does an 86-year-old Bart look like in an assisted living home where he's in there holding court and telling people that he's going to run the place? He's going to run the place. And then, he's going to maybe get thrown out. Do people get thrown out of assisted living?
They do.
places?
They do. There are many, and I'm one of them. You've been through this with your parents, and I went through it with both my parents. You see some of the most incredible things, some of the funniest things you've ever seen in your life. I mean, and all you can do is laugh when you get in that situation. And I suspect Bart will provide a few of those moments when the time comes, and I hope I do too.
I can see it. Can you see it, Bart?
No, not right now.
Come on. That's way too far out for Bart. Bart did not think about that, right?
Well, yeah. I'm just talking about, you and dealing with people. And get out of my room.
Well, I mean, look, nobody wants to be invaded.
There will always be
the good part is you can say those things at that age and completely get away with it. I mean, completely get away with it.
Can you imagine Bart having a podcast in 86 and completely saying whatever
The whole
he
world's
wants?
going to hell in a handbasket.
Whatever he wants to say. Totally, kind of like the show, but you just another level.
Yeah.
Just on another level. The Chuck and Bo Show on Demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Catch up on all 3 hours with the podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search for The Chuck and Bo Show.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
I told you yesterday, he's like Mike, the creator of Beavis and Butthead, a Rice graduate like myself.
You went to school with a guy who created Beavis and Butthead?
He was about 2 years older than me, Bo.
King of the Hill, too.
Mike Judge has no connection whatsoever to Rice University.
You guys are...
No.
If the guy wants to go through life thinking he went to college with the creator of Beavis and Butthead, what's the harm?
Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night, love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to it.
The show of record for Razorback fans.
At my Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still happy.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Madden.
It's Friday. Who's excited about Friday? Anybody excited
Me.
about Friday? It's not
Me.
just
I
because
would
it's
like to be
Friday.
excited about
Riley,
Friday.
are you excited about Friday?
Very
I'm
I know
pumped
Chuck's
up.
excited about Friday. Chuck's excited about what I'm excited about, probably, which is all the things you can watch from a sports perspective on television this weekend. In fact, can we just dive into what to watch? Like, can we just get people ready right now? What to watch brought to you by Macadoodles. We got NBA Finals Game 2 tonight, correct?
That's right. Yes.
On ABC?
7:30 tonight on ABC. We have that going on. We have the baseball
Super
regionals.
Little Rock. Let's go, Chris Curry's, the Fighting Chris Curry's. And
Get on the bandwagon.
4 o'clock today. I'm ready for that action. I'm glad we've got Little Rock in the Super Regional.
So we've
story
got
to follow.
We've got today Cal Poly in West Virginia at 11 a.m.
Gosh, who thought that was going to be a Super Regional?
USC in North Carolina at 2, Little Rock and Troy at 4, Auburn, Ole Miss at 7. Those all happening today, and then you've got others that start tomorrow.
Okay, but that's the action today.
That's the action today. And then you have, let's see, you've got Mississippi State, Georgia, Oklahoma, Kansas, Oregon, Texas, St. John's, and Alabama start tomorrow.
When's that Kansas Super Regional?
Starts tomorrow at 5 o'clock.
Oh, gosh.
If you would like to subject yourself
I just
to
can't even believe it.
torture.
That not only did they get a regional, they got a Super Regional. I mean, good for them. This is legendary. I don't see it ever happening again.
I stand by what I say. What I said going into last weekend, that I believe that anybody who earns the right to host a regional should host a regional, and that's part of the deal, and that's part of what makes it fun. However, if you have a turf pitching mound, that disqualifies you from being able to host. you gotta have some dirt, man.
Yeah,
you gotta have some dirt.
I agree with that.
It's baseball.
That's fair. Taking everything else, the sour grapes and all that out of the equation, you should be able to pitch on a dirt mound at the highest level of college baseball in the most meaningful games of the year.
You know who's gonna have a dirt mound for a super regional? Troy.
Yeah.
Troy's gonna have a dirt mound.
they got a dirt mound?
I'm just assuming they do.
You don't know. You don't know if they do or not.
You know what assuming
I think they've got turf. I don't know if they have carpet on the mound or not, but I think they've got turf. They might have a rug. That was the thing. They had a rug. They had a rug insert. Like you wouldn't even put that rug on your front doorstep. The rug that they had that they were pitching off of that mound. Anyhow,
this looks like beautiful grass and dirt at the Troy.
Yeah, that's dirt
at Riddle Pace Field.
That is dirt.
Well, Chris
now
Curry,
they do have turf. It looks like no, maybe no, that is grass. No, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. They have a dirt mound though.
Yeah,
the mound is dirt.
I think it's beautifully well kept grass. I'm looking at a freshly mowed picture.
Well, maybe they mow their turf.
So Troy. I mean, come on, Kansas. Let's pick it up.
Roll it.
If Troy can have a dirt mound, you can too.
All right, we're moving on from Kansas.
Yeah, okay.
Chris Curry, his first Super Regional, former Razorback assistant, Arkansas guy, and says there's plenty of room if you want to jump on the Little Rock wagon. Yeah, he did say.
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's unbelievable. I mean, just like you go play a clip, and it's like what he said. He said there's plenty of room on the bandwagon. I'll paraphrase for you. I'm excited for them, and literally, I think we have to consider going to the College World Series if Little Rock goes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think we consider that. We they're an in-state team. I mean, they're in the system. Like you support the other teams in this state. The Razorbacks are the biggest thing that binds everybody together in this state. But I'm all for rooting for these other teams when they're playing on a national stage, when they punch above their weight, so to speak. This has been such a weird year in college baseball in terms of the teams that have made it to the Super Regionals. With all the money being spent, it's funny that these teams that aren't really spending that much money ended up making a run in a lot of cases. And the teams that were in the College World Series last year, none of them are going back. I think part of that is people figuring out the landscape that we're in, not just the finances and what you're paying players and how the portal's working, but also the teams that played in the College World Series got behind because of the recruiting calendar and the portal calendar. and how that's a problem. Like you shouldn't have, a signing period or a portal period while teams are still playing. And this bill that's in the Senate right now, where we're hearing testimony and all that, there's a lot of good things about it, regulating college athletics, which I think it seems everyone's really in favor of that. But there's things in it that really won't work. And I'm not going to get into all those details, but there's things in it that really won't work, or that are not even, in some cases, jiving with current rules or regulations that are in place. So it just needs some work. But if we can continue down this road towards like 5 years of eligibility and some of these other regulations, some sort of cap on NIL, those types of things, and how many times you can transfer, I think that we have an opportunity to stabilize this a little bit. Right now, it's bananas. I think Arkansas and Cal have managed it really well. I don't know if people understand this about Cal. The money that is being spent, by the way, Chuck's at Mystic Creek in El Dorado, and we're working on his technical situation, and we'll go to him and check in a minute. But I don't think people realize that Cal, for having all the money in the world relative to other teams in college athletics, they could compete with virtually any other team out there in their NIL budget. I don't think money's an issue for basketball. I'm not saying it's an endless pot, but I don't think it's an issue. But Cal refuses to go pay somebody $5 million that's not worth $5 million in the market. The only way somebody becomes worth $5 million is one person says, we'll give you that. We'll give you that. And there are a bunch of, I think, sort of irresponsible people, because they're incentivized to be that way, trying to save their jobs and look better and maybe win a few more games and maybe buy themselves one more year by overspending in the portal. And I credit him because he refuses to do that. He plays the game. He'll give you market value, but he's not going to overspend in the portal. And I think the Iowa State kid would have come to Arkansas. He ended up going to Kentucky. And I think it's because Arkansas is not going to pay him $5 million. But Kentucky's desperate, and they are overpaying for players.
You see a lot of, I think you see a lot of desperation now from programs trying to be relevant.
That's very true. And Arkansas is not one of those, but I think our fans look at this and they want Arkansas to go get the piece that they think Cal needs, which is a really good big man. Well, there aren't a lot of really good big men out there. The ones that are just okay are getting overpaid.
Here's the other thing.
So it's a complete, it's not a good ROI on your money. And I don't know if that makes a lot of sense to people, but that's how it's being treated by Arkansas. Go ahead.
Yeah. I was just going to say the other thing that nobody's really considering is what if Arkansas has the big that they need on the roster right now? There's no way for anybody to know that except for the coaching, Cal and the coaching staff.
Well, I want to play this clip from him again. And again, he brought this up himself about the roster and what it looks like right now. For anybody who thinks Arkansas's basketball team isn't good enough, it isn't constructed well enough to your liking, here's what Cal said yesterday on the Buzz.
We're going to add one, maybe two more guys to the roster, but I don't just add to add. So if the team doesn't look like somebody thinks it should look, that's okay, because I've had all kind of teams like that. I've had teams that literally Anthony Davis wasn't a center. We won the national title, but we had a bunch of guys around him so that he could be who he was, or a Carl Towns who wasn't a beast, who, was a young 18-year-old. So I've done this different ways. I've done it with 3 point guards on the same team. I've done it with 2 guards playing point guard. What you want to do is make sure you get good people with good hearts who can be good teammates and have a special thing that they do that's different than everybody else on the team.
A lot of different ways you can do it. Edward, you had something about Anthony Davis.
Yeah, I don't think it's a coincidence that he brought up Anthony Davis and Karl Anthony Towns in the middle of that and talking about how they were untraditional big men at the time because of their age and because of they were a little underdeveloped size-wise. I think Mika Murinen is being vastly overlooked right now as someone who is going to play a role in the post, down low, grabbing rebounds. Because this guy is 6'10", 205. When Anthony Davis was 18, he was 6'10", 220. So he was a bigger build, but I think the sentiment is still the same. And I think that might be what Cal is alluding to there with the Anthony Davis.
Yeah, and you can probably put 10 pounds on him.
Yes, for sure.
You know, so we're not talking about that big of a difference. The other thing is there's a video that came out of these guys just messing around at the gym the other day. The athleticism from Murinen and Abdou Toure and J.J. Andrews, they were just dunking. It was like an NBA dunk contest. Well, it's a bad example because that's turned into crap.
I was about to say it was better than an NBA
But
dunk contest.
Toure goes down the middle of the lane, jumps, brings it between his legs, and then does basically a windmill.
A between the legs windmill.
Yes.
Yeah.
And throws it down with authority. Like, didn't barely get it. Like, got it big time. Murinen did some reverse windmill on the other side. I mean, it's insane. Like,
and he barely jumped.
It's
Murinen.
insane. Like, they have a roster. They have a squad.
They're going to be very, very good.
They have a squad.
Very, very good.
And we're not even talking about Jordan Smith. We're not even talking about Wilkinson, the kid from Georgia. That's
nobody's talking about him. And he's
machine.
great.
Wilkinson was in that video at the end, and he's like 6'1", 6'2", and he was in on the dunking action.
By the way, I want to play one more clip from Cal about just dealing with the climate. We were talking about overpaying and this kind of thing. Here's what he had to say about what it's like in this portal world.
I've always been about kids making money. When they left me, we did autograph tours because I was mad we couldn't do things when they were there. But we have to get those other things in order so we can be transformational as coaches. Because if it's transactional, you're going to have to put a seat at that table you're at with Joe and I both, because I won't be doing this. I'm not going to be talking. How about I don't talk to a player and his family? I'm talking to an agent to get no. I'm not doing that. That's out. And if that's what it takes to do to get a kid, then he's not coming here. I've got to have a relationship with the family. I've got to be able to do what I do to help the young people get where they're going.
You know, at the risk of just sounding like a biggest fanboy for Cal, I can't imagine you being any happier as a Razorback fan to have Cal. I mean, you can talk about anything that's gone wrong with Razorback athletics that you want to talk about, but what a gift. What a gift to get. And to me, it's not even about winning a national championship. I know everybody's going to say that's the goal and that's what we want to get to, and that is the goal. But to me, that's not the only definition of success. There's only one team every year that does that. What about the rest of the year? Not just the basketball season, the off season, the summer camps, the exhibitions, the going out in the community, making a difference, whatever. Has he made Arkansas better or what? Like, can we just think about that for a second? And when you go through this roster we're talking about, loaded with 5 stars, McDonald's All-Americans, and they play back and you watch them play during the season, and then you schedule marquee games like going to North Carolina and playing a game. Like, some fans that could afford to do that will have an opportunity to go somewhere maybe they've never been before. For the rest of us, we'll watch a game on television we wouldn't otherwise get to see. Detroit, Thanksgiving, Michigan State. And then you're relevant to the rest of the country. So it's not about just the result of, individual games or winning the national championship or getting to the Final Four. Does it matter while it's happening? Is it relevant? Is it enjoyable? Is it entertaining? Is there something going on? And you have that in basketball. I'm not saying you don't have it in other sports, and that's the idea that you're trying to get to in football. I feel like baseball's been like that. Softball's become like that. For track and field people, it's been that way for a long time. If you like golf, you got golf programs that are, it's not the only but he's just taken this basketball program and turned it into a product, the entire program into a product that's just on another level. And it's quite fun, actually. It's quite enjoyable.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, who's having fun?
I'm having
fun. You having fun? I'm having fun.
a great
I'm
time.
kind of enjoying it. Chuck and Bo On Demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. 5 great brands inside the Fayetteville Auto Park and a pre-owned selection that is second to none. Acura, Chevy, Hondas, Toyotas, even a collision center, all in one location, FayettevilleAutoPark.com. You can check them out on Live. Drive with confidence. I don't even know now. I don't even know what I was about to say.
We were talking about.
It was profound.
What were we talking about?
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Great people, great prices, and plenty to pick from. You get it all at Fayetteville Auto Park. Acura, Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas, even a collision center, all at one location. Shop new, used, and certified pre-owned. Plus, Fayetteville Auto Park has hundreds of new and pre-owned automobiles with big discounts starting at under $30,000. Shop our complete selection online at FayettevilleAutoPark.com. That's FayettevilleAutoPark.com.
Oakland is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oakland Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today.
Still searching for the perfect summer getaway? Mountain Home Arkansas might just be your answer. Wake up in the Ozark Hills. Hit the White River at sunrise, world-class fishing, hiking, trails, kayaking, and when the sun goes down, it's the kind of quiet you forgot existed. 2 lakes, 1 great town. All right here in the Arkansas Ozarks. Check it out at enjoymountainhome.com. Mountain Home Arkansas, where the outdoors is a way of life.
He's Chuck Barrett. He's Bo Mattingly.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Customer service is a buzzword. People just throw it out there. What is it to you?
Showing up when you say you're going to show up, returning phone calls, providing the service that you promised to provide. Because, if we're all asking to get paid for what we're doing, we need to do what we're getting paid for. And do it with a good attitude and being responsible, not only responsible to show up, but responsible to the relationship.
A relationship you can count on from Clay Maxey and the folks at Teamwork Roofing and Construction. TeamworkBuilt.com. Built on quality, powered by teamwork.
Fine jewelry is about more than just a beautiful piece. It's about the experience of finding it. I did that with Blakeman's. They are the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Blakeman's has been Northwest Arkansas's trusted destination for exceptional jewelry, providing our community with over 35 years of personalized service, world-class diamonds, and crafted custom pieces. Discover the difference of a true luxury experience at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers. Blakeman's, where Arkansas gets engaged.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas.
Hey, Chuck, you got me? Test.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Hey, let's bump your levels up just a little bit, and then
Okay.
you don't have to touch them because
Okay.
we mute it here, and everything that goes over
Okay.
is good here.
So,
just
all
turn
right.
it up a little more.
All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Sounds
Mic
great.
check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
A little behind the scenes for YouTube streamers.
Yeah,
This
look
is,
behind the scenes.
part of
This
what we
is
have to
going
do.
out over the
We
stream.
will be
but
back
we're
to
doing a quick
live
sound
action
check
in a
here with
moment.
Chuck.
Yeah, absolutely. Hang in there with us.
Chuck, give me
You
one
sound
more.
like
one
you
more
sound
count.
like $2 million now.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can barely hear you. 1, 2, 3.
Turn your return
I
up.
think your turn. Here we come. We're coming back now.
Podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show. My biorhythms were like screaming over the weekend. I'm not going to lie to you. I felt it the minute I walked into the casino Thursday night. I knew it was going to be well. I knew things were going to go well. I could feel it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Riley's going to get breakfast. ProLand Breakfast Fund is in use today. Chuck's at Mystic Creek in El Dorado. We're going to take some calls. But, Chuck, before we do, and I think we got Chuck connected now because we were just testing it out. For those of you that follow the show on YouTube, you got to hear some of that.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah. Oh, you sound so much better now. I mean, before it was just like you were being held hostage under a swimming pool. And we're talking through a snorkel.
I hear you.
And so we just had a moment here, Chuck. Edward was enjoying his cup of coffee. We went to break. He looked up and realized that his red mug, which is very similar to yours, was sitting over where he normally sits. He was sitting where you sit. And he said, "Oh, my God, I've just drank an entire cup of coffee out of Chuck's old
Oh,
grinder."
my God. Oh, my God. You got to be kidding me. That's awesome.
That's what I said.
Edward,
That's what I said.
Edward, whatever's in your body's been killed, because that's the beauty of using my coffee mug.
my
It kills
God.
everything that's inside you,
Good and bad.
so, good and bad. It's a whole new start for you today.
It was a moment of realization because Riley got up to go get breakfast, so I was coming back over
That's
to
funny.
her seat to run the board, and I'm like, I see my coffee cup because I had been subconsciously drinking a cup of coffee during the last segment,
enjoying the heck out of it, by
a
the way.
warm cup of coffee. And,
It's a great mug. It's a great mug.
And I looked back over and I looked down
That's why you
inside the
never
other
washed it.
mug, and there's like old coffee debris on the side of the mug. There's a loose, I don't even know what it is, some kind of brown substance in the bottom.
Chuck
That's me.
Chuck doesn't wash the coffee cup. He looks at it as like a flat grill burger situation where
a cast
you
iron.
never clean it
Yeah.
and you just keep grilling
That's
burgers.
right.
on it, and it
That's
just gets
exactly
better.
right.
I will say.
That's right.
I will say. It was a damn good cup of coffee.
Hey, once you get past the grime on the side of the cup, it's really not bad.
I gotta
it's
go wash
really
my
not.
mouth out with soap.
Yeah. Oh well, yeah. You need to. But it's good coffee, man. Good coffee.
Here's
Makes
what's
it better.
What's crazy is the next time Chuck's gone, Edward's going to be over there sneaking coffee.
I know.
Chuck's
I
gone.
know.
He's gonna,
Well.
because seriously, how do you can't create that situation? You
Now,
can't
don't be
create that
washing
for
it.
yourself. That's what I'm saying.
Don't be taking that into the kitchen and washing it.
Can I run some like water through
No.
There's only
no.
what I'm driving at. There's only one of these. Like to create that, you would have to do what Chuck does, which is taking years of not washing the coffee cup and stirring it with a Sharpie. That takes years.
Oh
to
yeah,
Oh,
the,
yeah.
the coffee.
Yeah,
and
you
the-
didn't even think about the Sharpie part, did
yeah,
you?
no, I've thought about a lot
That's
of things.
that's where the real germs come from, right there.
Yeah, I just tried the coffee from my first coffee in my mug, and it is ice cold. So I know for a
Yeah.
fact that.
Yeah.
I-
Yeah, and now you've got your own like sort of quasi French press going. You just pour coffee in
That's
Chuck's
funny.
never washed mug. It's decades of creating this special cup of coffee.
It's the
It's
what,
been
is,
in the
what is the
making for
coffee? What does the
years.
mug say? It's like the University of Arkansas School of Agriculture or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's a well-aged mug.
Both my parents went to the U of A School of Agriculture. That's why I have that mug.
They both used it.
It
They
was
never
their
washed it and handed it down to Chuck.
Wow.
It was handed down to me. I don't think it's ever been washed.
Passed down from
But,
generation to
that's
generation.
Right. That's exactly right.
That's
Now it's yours.
Got
That's
ancient bacteria
We've started
coursing
a new
through my
thing.
body.
Yeah, it's like
Fighting
there's
diseases.
great science
Edward,
behind it.
you've never been more healthy. You just don't know it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm telling you,
I'll-
you're gonna
I'll
get
feel
addicted
that
to that.
soon.
You're
Yeah.
gonna get addicted to that. You're gonna be like, Chuck, can I have a sip?
Yeah. Chuck, let me get a
Hey,
hit.
good. Good.
Let me take a
Chuck
shot.
Gone to Chuck's gone today. I'm going to use his mug.
Yeah, okay, when's Chuck on the road again? Oh, it's
Yeah.
going to be so good when I get into that coffee mug that was handed down from
That's a
generation
good
to
cup of coffee.
generation.
Well, you can taste you can taste the goodness.
You can taste the history.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
right. You can.
Let's go to the phones. Eric in Fort Smith. It's wide open Friday. Chuck's at Mystic Creek in El Dorado. Eric, how are you?
I am doing fantastic. Not only is it Friday, but I got a behind-the-scenes listening to a mic check and a coffee mug from Tomb Raider. So this is a
Big
good
morning.
morning.
It's a big morning.
So I had an NIL question and a follow-up depending on the answer to it. So how are all of these players being actually paid out on these NIL deals? Is it lump sum? Is it monthly disbursements? Do y'all know the answer to that question?
Well, it's a lot of both. In some cases, it just depends on the setup with who the deal's with, and B, how the school does it. But you're not getting a lot of money up front. I mean, you might get some money up front, but you're not getting some guaranteed lump sum like the entire deal up front before anything happens.
So they have to earn it.
Yes. I mean, in theory, like if you quit the team in the middle of the year, you're not getting the rest of your payments. Kind of like payday.
I was wanting to. My secondary follow-up question was: would it be a good idea for the NIL commissioners or whatever to do it completely incentive-based, kind of like NFL does, that they get bonuses for every touchdown they do if they go to the
Yeah, here's the
they do
thing.
that.
The thing with that, when you say NIL actually means you performed a service, like your name, image, and likeness was used for an advertiser or to post something on social media. Technically, that's how it's supposed to work. The rev share part of it could be done like that. It's just basically a contract pay for play situation. The NIL portion is the part that goes pretty wild when we talk about $5 million. That's not pay for play coming from the school. That's a situation where a company or companies are paying for this athlete to render services off the field. The wink wink here is rarely are those services actually held up or do they have to happen, where people make sure they do. And that's why we got to the College Sports Commission to try to regulate that, which just hasn't worked. We got to hit a break. Chris Lowe's coming up next. He'll join us to talk about this and more, but really getting into the college football season. What's it going to look like this year? Chuck and Bo Show at 7:30. Good morning. See, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Life is better with community banking from First Security, where personal connections make a difference every day. Families get bankers who know their names, know their needs, and love to help. Businesses work with responsive lenders who make fast local decisions that help build success. And communities thrive with First Security because our team is rooted here too. Choose the power of personal. First Security. Bank better. FSbank.com, member FDIC.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com. It's the Chuck and Bo Show. We're just kind of wading through it, figuring it out with you this morning.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
What has the impact been? I mean, we could talk about, I know you wanted to win more games and how hard you guys fought in that game against Nebraska and how much it probably took out of you. We could go over all that. But what has it been like in the aftermath here since you've gotten home? You're talking to people, I'm sure, about next year and all that. What do you think the impact was of getting to go to the College World Series for the first year on this continuous journey you've got the Arkansas softball program on?
Well, I think we're still feeling the impact. I think it's been incredible to see the reach. Obviously, we were the most viewed opening day game in World Series history. So there's so many people that got to see our fight and all of that. But, I think, we'll be in a lot of recruiting conversations starting next week, and I think that we're going to really feel that impact, because that was the only thing you couldn't check with our program. It's a place where you're going to be loved, you're going to be pushed, you're going to be developed, you're going to play elite softball, you're going to win a lot of games. And there was they haven't been to the series, and now we've checked that, and we know how to get there, and experience in getting there is so valuable. And so, I think it's been amazing to feel and see, and my phone is still going, of just the outpouring of support and encouragement for our program, how we do things, what we did, the amazing year we had, but how we do things is really refreshing to a lot of people. And for me, it's great to hear that, but I know that, so so it's been fun. It's been overwhelming, just the amount of just communication, text message, calls, all of it. And then I'm hoping we can continue to feel that impact as we need momentum as we go into the portal and all those things.
Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've had customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're looking for tough, reliable equipment for people you trust, WT Equipment delivers. WT Equipment is a local, family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas, and they've built their reputation by carrying the brands you know and depend on. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, and Steel, they have the equipment and implements to get the job done right. Whether you're tackling a big job or everyday work, WT Equipment offers a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance, including compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more. Their lots are packed and ready to move with special deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built to handle any job you throw at. Nobody does light construction or hay and forage better than WT Equipment. Backed by trusted service and support long after the sale. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location today or log on to WTEquip.com. Tools you trust and people you know.
Never miss a moment of the show thanks to the Chuck and Bo Show on Demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Are you owning the day? Like, if you're not, at that point, it's still early enough to get your butt in gear, right?
Can I point something out here? It's okay to drag in the morning. It's okay. I mean,
You're not helping this.
I don't care. We're not a self-help show.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's in El Dorado at Mystic Creek. Chris Lowe, longtime college football reporter, many years with ESPN, now with On3. Everybody's doing a podcast now. I see Chris on social media talking ball with the On3 guys all the time. He's joining us now. Chris, good morning. Thanks for making time for us in what should be maybe not that busy, but a really busy time for a college football reporter. How we doing, man?
Hey, Bo. It's good to be with you, man. Yeah, it's college football has always been sort of 24/7, 365, but never to this degree off the field.
Yeah. We're coming out of the meetings. By the way, Chuck's again in El Dorado at Mystic Creek Golf Club. Chris, we're coming out of the Big Ten meetings, the SEC meetings. Now we got meetings happening on Capitol Hill. I don't want to just go way in the weeds on where we are in college football. I'd rather talk about where we are going into this relative to this season. But could you just sum up all the things that are happening right now at maybe a 2,000-foot level, the high points of what's going on right now in the landscape of figuring things out?
Geez, where do I start?
Yeah, it's your choice.
Yeah, I think number one, do the SEC and Big Ten ever get on board with the Save College Sports Act? Now, Petiti and Greg Sankey met with Ted Cruz, said that they would support an amended act. Now, I think the bigger question though is some of the things that's in that, player, especially involving player movement, player compensation, caps, that type of thing. Will any of that withstand legal challenges? I think that's where you start. I don't see a lot of that standing up because any clause or any rule or regulation that says, well, you can only transfer so many times or a player can only make so much money, outside of some kind of rich or rigid antitrust exemption that's given to the NCAA, good and well players are going to challenge that. There are going to be lawyers lining up to represent players. I think some of what's in that bill makes a lot of sense. But I just given what we've seen in the weaponization of courts, I know you tell me. Do you think a lot of that stands up in court?
No. They
So
got to make those adjustments.
Right. And so that's where I would start. And I don't think anything is coming quickly. It hasn't to this point, and I don't see anything that's going to happen very quickly. In the meantime, rosters are going to continue. Those schools that can afford it are going to continue to rise. The salaries, Kyle Whittingham told me back in April when I was with him that he feels like that by 27 there will be 10 to 15 teams that have $50 million rosters in football. You know what? I believe him. I think he's right. I don't see that stopping. Now, at some point, to Nick Saban's comments, and I agree with some of what he said, there's going to be a crash like the housing market. And everybody can afford that. And I do think a lot of collateral damage will be Olympic sports. There's just not a lot of schools that can pay $50 million plus for their roster in football, 15 or in some cases 15 or 20 in basketball, and continue to operate where you're able to fund all these other sports. Spending is an issue. And I think this is, to me, not been talked about enough. And I think chancellors and presidents, though, have gotten off a little too easy because they're the ones who can step forward in a lot of cases and say, no, we're just not going to do this. Okay, yeah, we may be at a disadvantage, or yeah, but at some point they've got to stand up and say, no, we're not going to pay $6.5 million for a quarterback. We're not going to pay $13 million for a head coach. We're not going to pay $3 million for an AD. We're not going to pay $1 million for a GM in football. When you think about all those figures, I don't hear anybody, some of these ADs are talking about them having money. Well, a lot of these guys are making $2 or $3 million. No one's offered to take a pay cut. Hey, so diving and swimming survives. So there's a spending issue too in college football, and that we didn't even touch on the dead money that a lot of these schools are paying guys not to coach. And I know the agent, Jimmy Sexton in particular, the name gets thrown out there, and he's as good at what he does is protecting his clients. But when he puts these contracts in front of a chancellor, board of trustees, presidents, no one's twisting an arm to sign it. Hey, if this guy didn't get it done in 2 years, you're going to owe him $67 million.
That's wild.
So somebody's got to take responsibility for that, which is why I say maybe it's time to point the finger a little bit, not completely, but at the chancellors and presidents for some of this out-of-whack spending.
Chris, you're hitting on something there that I think really resonates with fans. I think there's a disconnect between the powers that be, if you want to use that term, and the average everyday college football fan. And it's just what you talked about. $1 million for jobs that, people aren't really sure exactly what they do. Are we anywhere closer to that stopping? I mean, I hear you talking about it. Are we anywhere close to seeing something done about that issue? Because until there's something done about that issue, I don't know that fans are going to buy into this.
I don't know if we're closer, but I do think that's going to be something that will happen at some point because, people use the word sustain a lot. This is not sustainable. I just don't think it's feasible for schools to keep paying those kind of salaries. I guess I don't remember what Ryan's salary was at Arkansas, but there's a lot of new coaches in the league. But I think last year, all but 3 or 4 coaches in the SEC were making $9 million or more. And a lot of those guys have big buyouts. Again, scan through what the ADs are making now in the SEC.
Yeah.
I think someone, a collection of schools, as I said a minute ago, are just about to say we're not going to pay. I know what the market says. You got to pay a head coach or even a quarterback. There's guys out there that are making $4, $5, $6 million a quarterback this year. And I know that's a little dicey about capping what you pay players because I don't think it's fair to say, well, we can't continue to pay players this kind of cash. But yeah, the market is what it is for coaches and coordinators, and we got some $3 million coordinators in college football. So I think there's a lot of things out there. Both ask me, hey, sort of from 1,000 feet away, you cap where we are. I think the spending part of it, has probably not been focused on. The other thing I would say about fans is I do think fans probably get lost in a lot of this conversation because I don't think anybody out there, any fan I talk to, Arkansas fan, Georgia fan, Michigan fan, Florida State fan, likes the player movement right now. I don't think anybody sort of feels like they're truly connected. There's to me a little bit of the soul of the game that's been lost. People still love the product on Saturday. I do. I wake up on Saturday mornings ready to go, but it's hard to have that real emotional attachment to a team when it's different every year. And you get an really good player, you develop that player, bam, he's gone.
Yeah, that's what
those are the parts.
Yeah,
that's
the
part of the
off-season
game.
conversation. This instead of what about these teams that we used to, which to me, that's what we all kind of grew up loving and talking about. In the off-season, the talking season in college football was almost as fun as the regular season sometimes.
Yeah, the developmental part of the game. And I think that's where, again, I know Saban took a lot of flack. I don't agree with everything he said, but I think some of what he said, he's just trying to help keep the game to what he remembers it being, which it's never going to go back. Okay, it's never going to get back to what it was. But Saban loved the developmental part of the game. He loved bringing in guys. And granted, he recruited better and developed better than anybody, and he had tons of resources. But you're right. I mean, hey, we're bringing back, 8 of our defensive guys. A couple freshmen last year that really came on the last half of the season. I'd love to see what these 2 corners are going to do this year. We bring back a senior safety. Well, those days are over because typically those guys are going to, not the players so much, but their agent's going to shop them around, and someone's going to give them a better deal, and they're going to go. And I'm not beating up on the players. I'm just saying that's sort of where we are. And I think when you talk to fans, at least me, that's what they dislike the most right now about college football, and coaches too. I mean, Lane Kiffin last year builds that team into a playoff team. And he's got choices between Florida and LSU. Well, he leaves to go to LSU. Now, he wanted to stay and coach the playoff. I grant you that. That was never going to happen. No school in America would let that happen. But that is sort of where we are now. And coaches come and go too. During, the most important part of the season. Michigan tried to pull Caleb DeBoer away from Alabama. And to his credit, he wouldn't engage with him when they won the first playoff game. And then he was sort of passing over, point of return, and Michigan went elsewhere. But that's going to continue happening too from the coach standpoint.
Chris, real quick, we got about a minute or so left here. A couple of college football storylines that you find interesting as we head towards August.
Well, I think staying in the SEC, which of the first-year coaches can have the most success? And you start right there at Arkansas. Ryan Silverfield and his staff were really good at evaluating guys in the transfer portal at Memphis. Well, they got 42 at Arkansas. And I think there's a chance that they're better and more talented on defense than maybe people are giving them credit. I think there was some talent that was left. I think they went out and got some guys that will be difference makers, but they're going to have to be because their schedule, I mean, geez, their schedule is brutal to play, A&M and Texas. I mean, really, they're playing probably the 4 toughest teams in the league when you think about Georgia, Texas, Texas A&M, LSU. But so how quickly, can he get that program back to where they have a chance to have a winning season? 42 new players in the transfer portal. So I think they, having not won a single game last year in the conference, from the Golishes, I think Pete Golding is in that, Summerall. I think Ryan's got the toughest challenge of any of those guys, and how quickly can they flip it there in Fayetteville?
Yeah. Always great to catch up, man. We'll be reading your stuff on 3on3.com. Chris Lowe, appreciate you making time for us. Enjoy the chaos of the offseason.
Yeah, I will. See you guys.
All right, my man.
Thank you,
Appreciate
Chris.
it. Chuck's in El Dorado at Mystic Creek. We got to hit a break as we continue on a Friday. We got a lot to get to. Back in a minute. 7:48. Do you have more opinions today? Do you have more things that we haven't gotten to?
Oh, yeah, brother.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Did you know Chevy of Fayetteville is the #1 volume dealer in Northwest Arkansas? That means nobody sells more cars, trucks, or SUVs than Chevy of Fayetteville. They've been a part of our community for over 25 years. They're supporters of our local schools and the Razorbacks. And they're the best after the sale. An award-winning service and parts department, a waiting area, complimentary loaners. So go see Chris Mark in Denver and the team at Chevy of Fayetteville, inside the Fayetteville Auto Park.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated, Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to JamesBoyett.com. You're right, Chuck. You're right. You're right.
You're not wrong, Chuck.
Because
Well,
we
that's
don't
all I
want
wanted to hear. That's really all I wanted to hear.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Baseball taught me teamwork, dedication, and the power of community. That's why I'm teaming up with Pascal ProPath to give back to charities that give every kid a chance to play. And right now you can pitch in. For every Pascal member signed up today through the end of May, Pascal will donate a portion of every membership to give back to youth sports. Become a member today, help give back in a big way. Pitch in with Pascal ProPath and help support kids in your community. Join today at PascalProPath.org.
Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to JamesBoyett.com. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
There's nothing like a day at the ballpark.
cold Yingling Lager. First pitch. That's how you start it right.
From the oldest brewery in America, it's smooth, balanced, and built for baseball.
But you know how it gets out there. That Arkansas sun's no joke.
That's why you bring a backup plan.
Yingling Light Lager, crisp, refreshing, and ready when the heat kicks in.
Start with lager.
Switch to Light Lager.
And stay cool from the first pitch to the final out. Proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorback.
DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple. When you win, you get to say anything you want. That's what sucks. When you don't win, the other guys get to say anything they want, and you just got to take it.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Chuck's at Mystic Creek Golf Club. Beautiful place. El
It is
Dorado,
nice.
Arkansas.
Hey, Chris brought something up there that I'm glad he brought up, and I'm anxious to, hear as we move forward if there's more conversation about this. Does college athletics have a revenue problem, or does it have a spending problem? I maybe both, but colleges and universities and athletic departments talk about how they're running short of cash, but they spend a lot of money.
They got a spending problem.
And fans notice that. Fans notice the spending problem. And I think at some point that's got to be addressed. You can't just talk about we need more revenue from you, and you being the collective you to fans. And they're not going to respond until they feel like you've dealt with your spending issue. And I don't know that there's been real movement in that area.
Well, it used to be something like, hey, we need a new practice facility to compete in this league. Everybody else has one. So we're raising $50 million and we're going to build
That's right.
one. Now it's like it's just chasing players. And it used to be that you had a $200 million budget and it was all nonprofit. So you use that budget, you maximize and get whatever you can out of it. So yeah, you pay your athletic director more or your other AD, whatever, and now it's a business. Like it's turning into a business. We're still stuck in this old model, but as we move towards more money needed, it's going to be treated more like the NFL. I had an athletic director tell me he talked to an NFL owner, and he said, hey, how do you get away with paying your coach just $4 million in the NFL? He said, well, the difference between NFL money and your money is you play with funny money. Like you just pay somebody more money and go ask somebody to give you more to a donor. Like they're going to pay for it. You want to buy out a coach for $18 million? You go raise $18 million, and that's $18 million out of my pocket. If I had to pay him $5 million instead of $4 million, that's $1 million out of my actual pocket. In my business.
It's different when it's your money. It's different when it's your money.
And now I think, fans, rightfully so, that are given money are going to start demanding, and that's why you're starting to see it happen a little bit already. It's more accountability for how the money's being spent. We'll get into more of it coming up. It's almost 8 o'clock. It is Reaction. Well, no, it's Friday.
I love talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. And Bo's latest selling experience is a perfect example of why. Within 5 minutes of listing his home, Bo had a showing. And just 2 days later, he had an offer. And just like my own experience with them, they took care of everything from start to finish. That's what you get when you work with a trained real estate professional. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, has been turning houses into homes since 1978, serving Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and Branson. For more information, log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
When it comes to finding the perfect diamond, there's one name that stands above the rest in Northwest Arkansas. Blakeman's Fine Jewelry. As the region's premier experts for diamonds, Blakeman's offers an unparalleled selection of brilliant stones, handpicked for their quality and beauty. They don't just help you find the perfect stone, they educate you on every step of the way. Whether you're planning a proposal, celebrating an anniversary, or simply treating yourself, Blakeman's is where your search ends and your story begins. Hey, it's Bo, and it seems like every day somebody else is asking me about the Sweat 'N 'em Edge. It's real. It's a new me. It can be a new you. It's completely changed my energy level and my exercise gains. My mind's clearer. I sleep better. Life's just more enjoyable. If you get drained in the afternoon, or maybe you just can't shake that weight, do what I did. Take the Sweat 'N 'em Edge. It's a free consultation. You get your results, and they'll give you a game plan. Just search the Sweat 'N 'em Edge or log on to sweatnumcosmetic.com.
Interviews, highlights, behind-the-scenes access, and so much more. Varsity Vibe is your go-to for high school athletics in Arkansas. Learn the stories of coaches and players in our Varsity Vibe podcast. See the biggest plays and the best performances highlighted on our social media platforms. And if newsletters are more your style, we've got that too. High school sports at your fingertips. Varsity Vibe, elevating the game.
I don't want Lane Kiffin at LSU. I want weird stuff going on.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Arkansas fans know that some things are just timeless, like a spring afternoon at Baum Walker or the roar you only hear at Bud Walton. Our friends at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry believe your milestone should be just as enduring as the Razorback spirit. They've spent over 35 years helping fans celebrate their big moments right here in Northwest Arkansas. Whether you're marking a graduation, an anniversary, or just a big Saturday in the SEC, let their teams help you find that perfect piece. This spring, go big, go bold, and go to Blakeman's in the heart of Pinnacle Hills.
We talk a lot about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, because our experience has been great. And Bo, you're going through it again right now.
For the second time. My son's a first-time home buyer. Him and his wife got a beautiful home. And for me, I just turned it over to them. They gave me a few things to sign, and it took all the work off my plate. And I just sit back and watch it happen.
That's what happens when you deal with a trained real estate professional. And that's what they are at Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company. They've been turning houses into homes since 1978, and you can log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
At First Security Bank, banking isn't one size fits all. It's personal because everyone's financial journey looks a little different. From managing day-to-day spending, running a small business, to helping your kids learn more smart money habits, or taking that big step toward buying a home. At First Security, you get the services you expect, the technology you need, and the real support of local people who live here, know the community, and take the time to understand what you're trying to accomplish. Life moves fast, and having a bank that moves with you makes a difference. Whether you prefer stopping by a branch, banking on the app, or picking up the phone to talk with someone who actually knows your name, First Security is there. They offer smart tools like mobile banking, bill pay, and mobile check deposit, along with thoughtful solutions like flex banking for kids, checking built for small businesses, and local mortgage lenders who guide you through the home buying process. Choose the power of personal. Bank better at First Security. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
You and Bart are going to be rolling around in the home.
Okay.
No, let's not get carried away.
That's a great topic.
You're putting too many years on me here.
Oh, hold on, though. That's a great topic. You in a assisted living home, and you holding court, and you being pissed off at people. That's a great topic.
Bart's
What does
gonna have an
Bart
illegal
look like
pudding
at
racket,
86? What does an 86-year-old Bart look like in an assisted living home where he's in there holding court and telling people that he's going to run the place? He's going to run the place. And then, he's going to maybe get thrown out. Do people get thrown out of assisted living?
They do.
place?
They do. There are many, and I'm one of them. You've been through this with your parents, and I went through it with both my parents. You see some of the most incredible things, some of the funniest things you've ever seen in your life. I mean, and all you can do is laugh when you get in that situation. And I suspect Bart will provide a few of those moments when the time comes, and I hope I do too.
I can see it. Can you see it, Bart?
No,
You can't.
not right now.
Come on. No, that's way too far out for Bart. Bart did not think about that, right?
Well, yeah. I'm just talking about, you and dealing with people. And get out of my room.
Well, I mean, look, nobody wants to be invaded.
There will always
Well,
be
the good
another
part
Doug
is you can
Shells.
say those things at that age and
People brush it
completely
off.
get away with it. I mean, completely get away.
Can you imagine Bart having a podcast in '86 and completely saying
The
whatever
whole
he
world's
wants?
going to hell in a
the whole-
handbasket.
whatever he wants to say. Totally, kind of like the show, but you just another level.
Yeah.
Just on another level. The Chuck and Bo Show on demand is driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Catch up on all 3 hours with the podcast version on Spotify and Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Previously heard on Chuck and Bo.
How do you guys handle your dishes? Leave them in the sink, put them in the dishwasher. Sink for
Right
a while,
away.
then the dishwasher. Yeah.
There needs to be some natural sitting time in the sink before they go into the dishwasher. I know things like that shouldn't be rushed.
Do you put a little detergent in there, run a little water, let it sit for a
Generally,
little
you have a
bit?
little water. Yes, there's
yeah.
got to be some water.
Got to be some
involved.
sitting time.
gotta
The Chuck and Bo Show.
I would resist the urge to drink this morning.
Stop. I'm done.
You said a lot of good things there.
Well, I don't know if I said one good thing.
I met a guy last night. Love y'all to death, Jeff.
You mind if I share?
I'm looking forward to
The show of record for Razorback fans.
it. My Sunday school, and first thing he says when we hop in the car, he says, "Let's turn on the Chuck and Bo Show."
It's too early for this kind of conversation. I'm still half asleep.
Here are your hosts, Chuck Barrett and Bo Mattingly.
Boy, I can feel it. I can feel the Friday vibes.
I almost called it Reaction Monday about 10 minutes ago. It's Wide Open Friday is what it is.
Today's the day we do all the things that we react to on Monday.
That's right.
You know, this is headed into the weekend. Now, hey, let me tell you one thing, Bo. I'm sitting here looking at it, the number 1 fairway here at Mystic Creek. The senior tees. This is one of the things I look at now when I go to a golf course. I'm 63, and depending upon the course, sometimes you get a head start. And man, you've got like a football field of difference here between the tips and the senior tees. So I like senior tees that are way forward.
Oh, yeah.
And this looks like my kind of play.
Oh, we got to do that sometime. And you're on my scramble team. Connor O'Gara joining us, host of the OG Kickoff on Next Round Live with Saturday Down South for a long time and covering college football for a long time, and one of our favorite guests. Connor, good morning. Happy Friday. Welcome into the Chuck and Bo Show.
Gentlemen, good to be with you.
Hi, Connor.
I'm going to try to avoid getting in the weeds of the business of college football and try to talk about on the field college football for a minute at least, Connor. Couple of interesting storylines for you going into the season. I know nobody's really talking about that right now, but it is traditionally about the time of year over the next month. In July, it's really going to go kind of full swing with the preview conversations of the upcoming season. What are a couple of storylines you're most interested in if we can look past the Senate and past the NIL conversations and past all that? What about what's going to be on the field this fall?
Man, from your lips to God's ears, you're preaching to the choir on that one. Anytime. Look, I love the work that many in our business do, but anytime I see a Ross Dellinger tweet, I'm just like, oh, I'm gonna have to talk about this more. And honestly, like that, I'm facing that fatigue, and until I see actual change within the sport, I'm gonna continue to care about the things that are happening on the field. I think there are some really good storylines going into this season, most notably Lane Kiffin. Lane Kiffin at LSU, it is a movie that is playing out in real time. That game in Ole Miss that is coming on September 19th is going to be the most anticipated SEC regular season game since, I think, Johnny Manziel hosting Alabama the year after he won the Heisman Trophy. I think that's really what we're talking about. And I think that's so good at a time in which we're questioning how much we value the regular season anymore. And then if we want to go big picture, guys, this could be the last year of the 12-team playoff. I mean, there's a realistic chance that this is the last time we see the 12-team playoff. And even though I wasn't one that said we needed to get to 12, I've really enjoyed 12. And I think that the buildup has been excellent in the playoff, though I would like the season to end sooner.
And I just think that it's been a really healthy postseason for the sport. And so I think just kind of seeing all the different factors at play with the 12-team playoff is something that if you're sitting here in June wondering what you should be excited about, I think that's certainly one of those things.
Hey, Connor, one of the things that is going on in the SEC, and we're obviously paying attention to it here, are the number of first-year coaches. Arkansas has one. The learning curve that always seems to come into play. What factor do you think that's going to play? What role do you think that's going to play in the season for these guys?
You know, it's so different across the board because, you know, all of these new coaches, I think, are entering very different situations. You know, like Ryan Silverfield, I think, is going to bring a certain level of calm when it comes to just understanding the ins and outs of being a head coach within a game. But this is the first time that he's had to rebuild a roster. And now Lane Kiffin is in a much different situation at LSU because we know that his roster, according to everyone you talk to, is more than $40 million. And certainly he was able to spare no expense when it came to rebuilding LSU. And then you have someone like John Summerall at Florida who, like, all he brought over with him from Tulane, which, by the way, was a playoff team, was his punter and his kicker. And then Alex Golesh brought all of these pieces over, brought like a dozen players over from USF, including a quarterback in Byron Brown. So it's just kind of a reminder, like, these year-one coaches, there's more than one way to skin a cat. I don't know who these sickos are out here skinning cats, but nonetheless, there's more than one way to get the job done. It's a question we need to ask more often. We need to ask them more often.
I'm going to steal that one.
But that's fine. That's fine. Trademark pending on that. But yeah, it's a reminder that in this day and age, with the transfer portal, with NIL, there are so many different ways to go into year one, and we're going to kind of play the results with that. And, you know, we're always going to kind of suggest, oh, well, you have to do it this way. You have to do it the Curt Cignetti way. Well, not everybody has that available. And so I'm fascinated just to see how all those different dynamics play out for all these new coaches in the SEC.
It's the question we have to ask about Arkansas. You know, there's so many it's hard for Arkansas fans to really grasp that their team has been in last place for a couple of years. That you know, you miss a bowl game and you win 2 games. Not just 2 SEC games, no SEC games and 2 games overall. And we feel in this state like we're better than that. But it hadn't been that way in a while. What are you watching for with Silverfield at Arkansas?
I think I want to see, and Arkansas fans know this all too well, it is this feeling of dread late in games of what can go wrong will go wrong. That feeling needs to be gone this year. If you can do one thing this year, it's show that you are competent in close games, something I've brought up a lot. I think it's like 34 one-score games that Ryan Silverfield has been a part of already as an FBS head coach, which bodes well. And it's not necessarily a dig at Sam Pittman, but obviously those were a huge area of concern during his time in Fayetteville. And so that feeling of dread, I think that needs to go away this year. And I don't know that goes away en route to a 5 or 6 win season, but like winning a couple of those games, and maybe, you know, 2 of them are in SEC play, winning 2 of those games that in previous years would have felt like a loss, would have felt like, all right, a fumble's coming, a special teams miscue. Oh, it's you know, they're going to find a way to allow, you know, an 80-yard drive in the last minute of a game. Something that just always felt like was inevitable with Arkansas. If that feeling goes away, even in a losing season, that's good in year one. That's going to be the type of thing that gives Arkansas fans some hope, because you could point to this position, that position, this roster overhaul and whatnot, and feel good about this coordinator. But if that feeling still exists, then hopelessness exists. And Arkansas right now is just trying to get away from that feeling of hopelessness.
Who, Connor, in the SEC is going to be, or will there be, a Georgia, an Alabama of the past, a dominant program in this league? Or is it just going to be, what seems to be my favorite word sometimes, wild for the next 3 or 4 years?
I think it's going to be wild for the next 3 or 4 years, because it's already been wild. I mean, think about it. Like, Georgia's looked pretty flawed in these last 2 years in which it has been able to win an SEC championship. And I don't think Georgia fans feel like those have been vintage teams by any stretch of the imagination. And they've both, been able to earn a first-round bye in the college football playoff and, have not been able to get it done in the playoff. And I think that the top of the SEC, not having those elite teams, I think that could play out again. I think when we get to SEC Media Days, my guess is that Texas is going to be the pick to win the SEC. They are my pick to win. But I'm looking at Texas going, I think defensively, I have a ton of questions. Will Muschamp running a defense by himself as a coordinator for the first time in a decade, I don't know how that's going to go. They have a lot of transfers that they're relying on that side of the ball, and I love the offensive potential, and I think that there could be a lot of fireworks in Austin this year, but I don't look at Texas, even though they're my pick to win the SEC, in the same way that I would have some of these other SEC picks to win the conference in the early part of the 2020s. And I think that's going to play out this year. Now, there's a really good chance that come December, Georgia is going to have the confetti falling on them again, and we're going to look back on SEC Media Days and go, why did we overthink this? Why didn't we just pick Georgia to win the SEC? And Georgia looks like the best team in the conference. But I think for now, as we sit here and breathe in June, I think there is definitely a feeling that the conference could be wide open all over the place this year.
SEC has taken it on the chin in the postseason the last 3 years. Big Ten, now the reigning conference in college football. That's the conversation or the narrative. Are we, the SEC, going to reclaim being the best conference? It's always going to be debatable and arguable. But there for a while, it didn't really feel like it was. Has that changed? I mean, I know it's kind of changed, but will the SEC kind of get that back? Will this be the obvious dominant conference in college football maybe over the next 2 or 3 years?
Yeah, if I'm just looking at this year, I don't think that's going to be the case. I did my playoff prediction. I rolled out my bracket last week, and I have Oregon winning a national championship, which if that happens, that's 4 different Big Ten schools winning a championship in as many years.
Man.
And if you recall, that's the exact thing that gave the SEC the ability to flex in the late 2000s. It's the variety. It's that you can take away Alabama, and the SEC still has this air of supremacy over the rest of college football. And that's what this comes down to. It's the same thing that frustrated Big Ten fans in the 2010s was that they're like, hey, look, we have more depth, and we're winning these New Year's Six Bowls and that New Year's Six Bowl. But people remember championships, and they remember who is the last team standing. And if the SEC doesn't have that, and if they continue to not necessarily have this success in the college football playoff, then that's what it's going to come down to. People won't look back on last year and go, well, you know what, the SEC, they had 5 teams in the college football playoff. They were the best conference. No. The SEC struggled in the postseason. It was a really bad postseason for the SEC. And meanwhile, the Big Ten was able to assert its dominance. Even Miami was able to beat multiple SEC teams and a Big Ten team en route to national runner-up. So I don't think that it's reclaimed this year, even if the SEC has the most bids in the college football playoff. I think it comes down to winning a national championship, and I think the Big Ten gets that done once again.
Connor, good stuff. Always appreciate it. By the way, just one question about Florida. And we talk about this, from time to time, Chuck. We don't understand why Florida's not winning every year, but yet every coach goes to Florida and ruins their career, it seems like. Every up-and-coming coach, whether it was Muschamp or McElwain or, just the Billy Napier, go down the list. And but you see all these quotes and Summerall seems like a dynamic personality, and it's like surely not another one, right? I'm just curious. Do you think Summerall's going to win at Florida?
Yeah, win and get Florida back to potentially being playoff worthy. I think that's possible. Could he have a Dan Mullen type ceiling where you're talking about getting to the SEC championship, and Dan Mullen, was able to get to New Year's Six Bowls before we had the 12-team playoff. I think that's in play. I do. I think year one they're at a different place than I thought they'd be. They're number one in the country in Bill Connolly's percentage of returning defensive production, and that's with a defense that's led by John Summerall and longtime Kentucky defensive coordinator Brad White. They're also led on offense by Buster Faulkner, who's widely considered one of the top up-and-coming offensive coordinators in the sport. I thought that was a big-time hire coming over from Georgia Tech. They've got personnel questions. There's no doubt about it. Like, I don't know what the quarterback situation is going to look like moving forward. You always kind of question that with a defensive-minded head coach if they're going to be able to figure out that side of it. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot to like. They have the resources there, and this is someone who is really decorated as a head coach, and he's already been to a college football playoff. He seems to have the right mindset. I've been saying that throughout this entire offseason, it feels like someone handed John Sumrall a list of things that Billy Napier did that upset the fan base, and they told him, do the opposite of that. And he's done that, but it's more than that. And so much of this comes down to winning football games and being able to have the right sense of humility. I think John Sumrall has that, but man, I mean, Lord knows we've been convinced that Florida coaches were going to work in the past, and it just has not lined up in the post-Urban Meyer era.
Great stuff, Connor. Really well done. Thank you so much. Love
Thank
having you on. Come back anytime. We hope to do it again soon.
Gentlemen, appreciate it.
Appreciate you. Have a great weekend. Connor O'Gara, host of the OG Kickoff on Next Round Live. You know, Chuck, something I wrote down while he was talking about, the SEC not really reclaiming its dominance this year. Not likely to happen. All the Big Ten teams are still really good. Something you've talked about, and I heard Cal talk about in this interview that he did with Basil and those guys yesterday. He said our schedule in the SEC is ridiculous again this year. There are ridiculously good teams in our league. We're ready to go play those teams, but it's ridiculous. And I wonder if the move over to basketball and the number of good teams that we have in this league in basketball and the money that costs athletic departments has affected football in any way.
Might have. I haven't really thought about it in those terms, but it doesn't seem as though the Big Ten is as good in basketball right now as maybe they've been in the past. I haven't
even
really
though
thought
they
about
won
that.
the title. That was one team.
Right. It was one team, but what Connor said is critical. Fans remember championships, and that's what they hang their hats on. And the idea that you can say we're the best conference without a national champion, I just don't know that people are going to buy into that right now. I don't disagree that if you got 5 or 6 teams in the playoff and the other team or the other conference has 3 and they win it, who's the best conference? I'm not sure I know the answer, but the championships are what people remember. There's no doubt.
Chuck, we missed you for breakfast. Your coffee cup's been passed around. Everybody's drinking out of it now to taste the difference, the gritty coffee taste.
Well,
an
it's real
unwashed
coffee.
Cup.
It's a real coffee taste. Is the bottom line.
Well, we missed you for breakfast. It's
Well-
National Donut Day. Riley went and got donuts.
You know, I've had a donut this morning.
Okay.
Actually, Spud Nuts. I've had 2 Spud Nuts.
I was gonna
I've
ask.
had 2 Spud Nuts.
Can you bring some back?
Yeah, we got a box of them over here.
Please do. Those
Okay.
are
All right.
legendary. Those
Okay.
are what? Can you
They are
explain?
good.
Can you explain the?
Well, there's just more density to them. They're a little bit bigger, and I can't really explain.
Is it
the
a
ingredients.
potato thing? Is that? Yeah,
Well,
it's
it's
a
more
donut.
potato-like. It's
Yeah.
it's like yes.
El
That is-
Dorado, the legendary Spud Nuts.
Yeah.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
I got them. I got a box of them
yeah,
right here.
We'll be waiting at the airport.
Okay, good.
ProLand Breakfast Fund. We do it every day here, and ProLand's all about helping people out, helping them close. We close breakfast here, but they're Arkansas natives. They've got 45 offices throughout Arkansas, independently owned. That gives them the ability to put their clients first, and they have the ability to say yes to a lot of transactions other companies may not be able to because of their relationships with a huge range of national underwriters. Cheer for the pigs and close with the pros at ProLand Title. ProLandTitle.com. Your calls coming up.
Just get it together, people. You obviously are completely incompetent. I'm so sick of the morons, man.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Oakland is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the luxury hotel. Escape to Astro Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oakland Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Great people, great prices, and plenty to pick from. You get it all at Fayetteville Auto Park. Acuras, Chevys, Hondas, Toyotas, even a collision center, all at one location. Shop new, used, and certified pre-owned. Plus, Fayetteville Auto Park has hundreds of new and pre-owned automobiles with big discounts starting at under $30,000. Shop our complete selection online at FayettevilleAutopark.com. That's FayettevilleAutopark.com.
Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
This is Chuck Barrett, and I'm so glad I chose McDonald Eye Associates for my recent cataract surgery. They took great care of me. You have to have good vision to be the voice of the Razorbacks, and I'm glad I trusted my eyes to McDonald Eye. I learned patients of all ages have a lot of options when it comes to modern surgery to reduce or even eliminate your eyeglasses. They've been taking care of patients for over 50 years, and that says a lot. So for your best vision, trust McDonald Eye. Online and same-day appointments at McDonaldEye.com.
Hey, I'm sorry if this makes too much sense. I am more than happy to hear where I'm off on this.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Customer service is a buzzword. People just throw it out there. What is it to you?
Showing up when you say you're going to show up, returning phone calls, providing the service that you promised to provide. Because, I mean, if we're all asking to get paid for what we're doing, we need to do what we're getting paid for. And do it with a good attitude and being responsible, not only responsible to show up, but responsible to the relationship.
A relationship you can count on from Clay Maxey and the folks at Teamwork Roofing and Construction. TeamworkBuilt.com. Built on quality, powered by teamwork. You know, fine jewelry is about more than just a beautiful piece. It's about the experience of finding it. I did that with Blakeman's. They are the official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Blakeman's has been Northwest Arkansas's trusted destination for exceptional jewelry, providing our community with over 35 years of personalized service, world-class diamonds, and crafted custom pieces. Discover the difference of a true luxury experience at Blakeman's Fine Jewelry in Rogers. Blakeman's, where Arkansas gets engaged.
For over 20 years, ProLand Title has been making title insurance easy for Arkansas families. Founded right here in Arkansas with over 45 offices statewide, our team of title insurance veterans will work alongside you every step of the way. They're independently owned, so their only priority is you. ProLand Title can say yes when others can't. Cheer for the pigs, close with the pros. Visit ProLandTitle.com to get a quote today.
Imagine raising your family somewhere safe, welcoming, and genuinely beautiful, where the kids have room to roam, the neighbors know your name, and the weekends are spent on the golf course, the lake, or the trails. That's Big Creek Golf and Country Club in Mountain Home, Arkansas, a vibrant community with year-round events for all ages, world-class outdoor recreation, and brand-new home sites now available for families ready to put down roots. Small town, big life. Visit BigCreekGolf.com today and get more info.
Never miss a moment of the show thanks to the Chuck and Bo Show on Demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
By the way, good morning. We just kind of jumped in, and we're
Hey,
coffee deep. And hey, everybody,
Morning, Bart.
welcome in.
Edward.
I smell the bacon cooking. It's going to be a good day.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
8:24. It is wide open Friday. Whatever's on your mind. Chuck's at Mystic Creek, beautiful golf club. Mystic Creek, El Dorado is bringing Spud Nuts back to us. We are absolutely fired up. More fired up about the fact that we're going to go there at some point this summer. At least that's the word. And Bart's going to try to break 90. And Chuck and I are going to play from the senior tees.
Well, we are. Hey, I'm going to tell you, I just watched like 3 young flat bellies hit from the tips.
Yeah.
And they just hammered it. I mean, they hit it out of sight. They hit 3 woods. They hit
Yeah.
3 woods like further than any
I
of us,
know.
or at least certainly me.
You
could ever
want to
hit a
talk about
driver.
something that'll screw your game up faster than anything is watching those guys hit it.
I know.
You know
I
what I
know.
mean? Like if you end up in that group, like don't even watch. Like listen for the contact and then try to find the ball. That way you can help them if it goes somewhere other than the fairway, which it normally doesn't. But you start watching that, and it's like
Well,
you
these
can't even
guys
put a
were
swing
all
together.
These guys were all 1 off the tee. I mean, they don't even take a breakfast ball, and it's like 320 right
Yeah,
down the,
yeah.
just right down the
And
shaft. I mean,
all-
it's perfect.
all day long.
Yeah, I mean, it's just perfect.
Nelson and Harrison. Nelson, good morning.
Good Friday morning, guys. I tell you what, losing DJ Gasso will be a big blow, but he deserves it. He deserves the
Amen.
job. So, and then guys, this news with the basketball schedule, playing Arizona and Michigan State, North Carolina, that's really great news for our program. Got to get that Razorback out there. I mean, kids have seen it since Musselman's been here, and now they sit with Calipari more. I mean, on the stage like that. And Arthur's call was great. Arthur sits there and he studies this stuff. He knows what he's talking about. And these people that get on here, and I'm not trying to bash anybody, but like Melvin yesterday, that don't study their
Call anybody by name, but
Razorback stuff, and they come on here saying stuff that they. Hey, let me tell you this, Melvin, since we're talking about it. Go back the last 5 years and look at the players that we've had. We haven't had all the players, but we had Rocket Sanders, we had Andrew Armstrong, we had Drew Sanders on defense. We've got players out of the portal that were all SEC guys, and out of small schools. You look at Tesla, you look at Armstrong. They come from Hillsdale and, Texas Commonwealth or something. It's like some schools that we don't even know about.
Yeah.
So the football team was finding gems. They were finding diamonds in the rough. They just wasn't able to go spend on these big names that might blow up. And, guys, I just want to say this. I know that Hunter Yurachek ain't done everything right, but I get so tired of this narrative that John Calipari hired, Calipari was hired by John Tyson. Go watch the Hog Pod with Bo. John Tyson says out of his very own mouth, John Calipari only put us together. Is that not what he said, Bo?
That's
to you?
right. That's right.
He said, John Calipari only connected us together. It was not John Calipari that hired, John Tyson did not hire John Calipari, so I don't want to hear that again on any radio station in Arkansas. John Tyson himself said that John Calipari put us together. Hunter Yurachek could have blew that up if he didn't do the right thing. So, guys, go Hog. And if you're a Hog fan, be a Hog fan. They're going to get back. Basketball was in the same situation. We were in the doldrums, and guess what? He fired Mike Anderson, not a popular thing to do in Arkansas because people love Mike Anderson, but then he went and got a guy we didn't know, Eric Musselman, who changed the program. Thank you, guys. Go Hogs.
What a call.
Thank you, Nelson. There we go.
I mean, really. I mean, if you
Not
go,
that we're calling anybody by name.
if you want to see like the definition of what it looks like to call a radio show, a 10 out of 10 call. That's it. As Jim
That's
Rome would
the
say,
point.
rack 'em.
That was good.
I mean, that was solid. I do want to say we've talked about this a little bit. Hunter's like anybody else. He's got flaws, and he doesn't bat 1,000 at his job. He also takes a lot of hit by pitches that aren't fair or aren't accurate, like this one. Like people say, hey, the athletic director's got to be able to raise more money. Do you realize? Like, I don't think people realize this. That Arkansas's had record-breaking fundraising years the last 2 years. They've raised more money than they ever have in the history of the school in the athletic department the last 2 years. Like, you just don't have, like, maybe you don't have an endless amount of money and you don't have everything you want to have, and the stadium rights aren't sold yet, whatever, which, you know, is supposed to be coming any day. And so there's things you can criticize. But it's like we talk about coaches. Oh, you know what? You know what's going to win a game? I'll tell you what, you fire the coach. You're going to win games. And then we're going to hire James Franklin and John Gruden.
It's almost like anytime you lose a game now, you were either outspent or you were outcoached. I mean, and neither one of those is tolerable for people. And I get it. I mean, losing's no fun.
Yeah, and it's not perfect, and I get that. But,
No.
but the sweeping statements of, you know, this guy's either great or terrible, and it's not just coaches and athletic directors. We do it all the time. You know, that guy just sucks. It's just like, that guy's great. There's a lot of stuff going on. And I think we're struggling to find positive thoughts on football, some of us, because we don't know much. And in the absence of facts, we generally go negative.
I want to go back to something that Connor said, and Chris Lowe talked about it too. Basically what they're talking about, and I think this would go a long way with Razorback fans. Connor talked about I wrote it down here, the sense of doom, the feeling of dread, I think is the way he phrased it. What they're basically talking about is don't beat yourself, not beating yourself. When you have a feeling of dread that you're going to lose a game, it means we feel like our team's fixing to screw up. You know, we're fixing to give this game away. I think it would go a long way with Razorback fans, win or lose. Now, they want to win more than they lose, obviously. Play winning football. Don't beat yourself. You know, don't do away with that feeling of dread. We may lose in the fourth quarter, but it's not going to be because we fumbled inside the 10-yard line.
Yeah.
You know, the other team may drive the length of the field and earn it, but we're not going to give it to them. And I think that would go a long way with our fans.
Brought to you in part by Blakeman's. You want to have a great weekend? Go shopping at Blakeman's. Just enjoy the experience. They'll take care of you there. They'll listen to your story. They'll help you mark the moment. Maybe you've got an anniversary coming up or just want to treat someone special. Maybe you're thinking about getting engaged. That's where Arkansas gets engaged. But it's more than a jewelry store at Blakeman's. It's an experience, and they're all about your story. The official jeweler of the Arkansas Razorbacks, celebrating Arkansas family since 1987.
We a bunch of idiots or what?
Yes, we are. Yes.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Getting the job done means tough and reliable equipment, and that's what WT Equipment is known for. A locally family-owned dealership with 4 locations across Arkansas, and always ready to help you get the job done. WT Equipment carries the brands you trust, like the legendary Bobcat and more, and they're offering aggressive pricing on skid steers and mini excavators. Whether you need equipment, implements, or powerful Bobcats, the friendly team at WT Equipment is ready to help. Visit WTEquip.com. Hey, it's Bo Mattingly, and when it comes to a roof or remodel, let me recommend Teamwork Roofing and Construction. Here's Teamwork COO Brett Husky on what you can expect.
We're going to be there when we say we're going to be there. We're going to have really high-quality people that are going to be there that are extremely talented at what they do. You're going to get more than what you bargained for.
And Teamwork Roofing and Construction now offers financing. Log on to their website, teamworkbuilt.com. Teamwork Roofing and Construction, built on quality, powered by teamwork.
There's never a good deal good enough with a bad person. Still a bad deal.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
What has the impact been? I mean, we could talk about, you know, I know you wanted to win more games and how hard you guys fought in that game against Nebraska and how much it probably took out of you. We could go over all that. But what has it been like in the aftermath here since you've gotten home? You're talking to people, I'm sure, you know, about next year and all that. What do you think the impact was of getting to go to the College World Series for the first year on this continuous journey you've got the Arkansas softball program on?
Well, I think we're still feeling the impact. I think it's been incredible to see the reach. Obviously, we were the most viewed opening day game in World Series history. So there's so many people that got to see our fight and all of that. But, you know, I think, you know, we'll be in a lot of recruiting conversations starting next week, and I think that we're going to really feel that impact, because that was the only thing you couldn't check with our program. You know, it's a place where you're going to be loved, you're going to be pushed, you're going to be developed, you're going to play elite softball, you're going to win a lot of games. And there was like, they haven't been to the series, and now we've checked that, and we know how to get there, and experiencing getting there is so valuable. And so, you know, I think it's been amazing to feel and see, and my phone is still going, of just the outpouring of support and encouragement for our program, how we do things, what we did, the amazing year we had, but how we do things is really refreshing to a lot of people. And for me, it's great to hear that, but like, I know that, you know, so so it's been fun. It's been overwhelming, just the amount of just communication, text message, calls, all of it. And then I'm hoping we can continue to feel that impact as we need momentum as we go into the portal and all those things.
Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've had customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
Oaklawn is here for when you want the ultimate escape, all in one place. Check into the Luxury Hotel. Escape to Astral Spa, the only Forbes 4-star rated spa in Arkansas. Indulge at award-winning restaurants like the Bugler or the Oak Room and Bar, all before having the time of your life at the 24/7 smoke-free casino, where the energy goes all night. Here, excitement and luxury meet under one roof. Oaklawn Hot Springs. Join the fun. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
When you're looking for tough, reliable equipment for people you trust, WT Equipment delivers. WT Equipment is a local, family-owned dealership with 8 locations across Arkansas, and they've built their reputation by carrying the brands you know and depend on. From Bobcat to New Holland, Hustler, and Steel, they have the equipment and implements to get the job done right. Whether you're tackling a big job or everyday work, WT Equipment offers a full lineup of Bobcat machines built for power and performance, including compact track loaders, skid steers, excavators, and more. Their lots are packed and ready to move with special deals you don't want to miss. Bobcat is the industry leader, tough, reliable, and built to handle any job you throw at. Nobody does light construction or hay and forage better than WT Equipment. Backed by trusted service and support long after the sale. Stop by your nearest WT Equipment location today or log on to WTEquip.com. Tools you trust and people you know.
Never miss a moment of the show thanks to the Chuck and Bo Show on Demand, driven by the Fayetteville Auto Park. Stream the podcast version of the show on Spotify or Apple. Just search for the Chuck and Bo Show.
Who's going to be the first to get a Chuck and Bo tattoo? I mean, I think Chuck might do it.
No.
Yeah.
You can have mine. You just get 2 of them.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Well, Chuck, Z, who lives over there at the basketball facility, I guess he works remotely for the Razorback Foundation over there at the
Occasionally.
at the basketball facility. But the new guys came in and we're all in there for I don't know if they were in there for a day or a couple of days, and Hogs Plus was like, man, we got to get some comments from these guys, and they threw a microphone in front of them, put Z across from him, and said, hey, let's start talking, and
go get him.
And here's Z talking to Mika. Okay, well, let's leave it there for now. Here's a quick little soundbite from Z talking to Mika.
What's your family's correct pronunciation of your last name?
Morningen.
Morningen.
Yeah, that's the Finnish way.
Yeah. Well, Chuck Barrett, the voice of the Razorbacks, we're going to make sure that him and Mike Kaywood get that on recording so they can practice that.
Hey, here, that's the sort of hard hit, that's the kind of hard hitting interview you expect to see. But here's the thing. During the season, hey, during the season, Z will refer to him as Big Mika. He will never say his last name. Yeah, they got it inside the Big Mika. That's what he'll say over and over and over again. And then he'll say to me, well, how come you can't pronounce it? You know, how come you're not pronouncing his last name right?
Right, exactly.
Well, you're not even trying.
Yeah. Morning.
Morning.
Yeah, he added an extra N in there. Morning.
Yeah, well,
Let's see if Z actually got it right.
Morning.
Okay, now one more time.
Morning.
No, he added an N.
No, he did. He added an N. You're right.
It's not
He
morning.
added an N.
He's pronouncing it with 3 N's. Morning.
No, you're right. You're right. He
Morning,
did.
not morning.
Morning.
He added some extra N's right there.
Morning.
Morning.
Oh. Oh, gosh.
Morning.
Yeah, that's the finish.
He
way.
did.
Yeah.
There's
Chuck
multiple
Barrett, the
N's.
voice of the Razorbacks. We're going to
Yeah.
make sure that him and
Morning, not morning.
Morning.
Hey, Chuck
How do you
Barrett.
pronounce it, Z?
Morning.
How do you
Good
say it?
morning.
Yeah,
that's the finish way.
yeah.
morning.
Morning. It sounds like he says morning.
I know.
Good morning.
Yeah, all right. There it is.
Morning.
There it is.
Morning.
Chuck, there's video of these
That is
guys.
so funny. That's
JJ
so funny.
and Morning.
Morning.
And
I'm gonna.
Now
tweet-
nobody's
I'm
gonna
gonna
say
tweet
it. Nobody's gonna say
Oh,
the name
you guys
right
are
because everybody's
brutal.
gonna think
That's
it's
brutal.
morning.
yeah. I mean, listen, we've got names wrong for entire careers for
Oh,
like 3
gosh.
years around here. And then somebody will leave and it's actually this way. And Cal still did Thero's name wrong.
Yeah,
Thiero.
He called him Thiero. He was, by God, he was not going to call him
all the way through
Thiero.
the draft process.
Yeah,
Everything.
yeah. Oh, I know.
I mean, you know, it is what it is. I mean,
Hey, we've had, but you're right. We've had coaches over the years that have, like Jonathan Luigs.
Yeah.
The
Luigs.
correct pronunciation is Louis.
Right.
And but he just never told anybody.
Well,
and a lot of these guys are just such nice kids. They don't want to correct anyone.
Dave Womack was the defensive coordinator. Kane
Yeah,
Womack
Womack.
is
Yeah.
the defense coordinator in Alabama. They say they pronounce her name Womack. Everybody else
Right.
pronounces it Womack.
Yeah.
And it's just
Well, and you know, we had that kicker, Chris Balcero. Houston called him Balisario for like four or 5 years. It wasn't even close. And coaches do that all the time. I mean, they just do it.
Maybe Danny Ford had it right, just calling guys by
Hey.
their numbers or whatever.
Yeah, that was a great job, number 32. Great to see you,
Remember
number
when
31.
Gus Malzahn became the offensive coordinator and Houston called him Malazahn? I think
Yeah.
some people were like, that's disrespectful. I don't think he meant to screw it up.
No, yes, hey,
I think he just,
well,
he
why
just-
do people say realty?
Yeah.
Why do people say realty? I mean, some people just do that.
It's not a realtor.
He didn't do that on purpose.
I don't think so either.
It was not a disrespectful thing. People took it that way, but
Well,
people
people
back
were
then
looking
just,
for it, yeah.
Yeah, they were
Yeah.
looking for a reason to be upset.
I wanted to play. We brought up Mika, and I wanted to play this clip from Cal
Morning.
about the yeah.
Morning.
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 Morning. Zvonimir Ivisic.
Yeah, just go with that.
It's a
Ivisic.
yeah, like people are still pronouncing that 3 different ways in
I
the
know.
tournament last year.
Well, the brothers
I know.
pronounce it differently.
They have different pronunciations
yeah.
within the family.
Yeah.
They can't even agree on that.
yeah, I mean, well, I think I'm going to go safely with Mika.
Yeah,
That's
Big Mika. Big Mika.
Big download a Big Mika.
In the interview, he said some people even just call him Meek.
Well, that's
Okay.
even better.
Big Meek.
Well, 1-syllable words are even better for us.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Well, here's Cal on his roster, and then we come back and talk real quick about who's on the roster.
Okay.
But there's this concern among Razorback fans that they didn't get everything that a Razorback fan thinks they need to have, and Cal addressed that really unprompted. Addressed that in this interview yesterday morning on the Buzz.
We're going to add 1, maybe 2 more guys to the roster, but I don't just add to add. So if the team doesn't look like somebody thinks it should look, that's okay, because I've had all kind of teams like that. I've had teams that literally Anthony Davis wasn't a center. We won the national title, but we had a bunch of guys around him so that he could be who he was, or a Carl Towns who wasn't a beast who, was a young 18-year-old. So I've done this different ways. I've done it with 3 point guards on the same team. I've done it with 2 guards playing point guard. What you want to do is make sure you get good people with good hearts who can be good teammates and have a special thing that they do that's different than everybody else on the team.
He's not worried about the roster. He loves it. And I think his point's a good one. Just for the record, though, here's what we have so far. George Smith Jr., McDonald's All-American. Jeremiah Wilkinson, who averaged 15 a games. He's a junior. He's a transfer from Georgia. J.J. Andrews, freshman, McDonald's All-American. Abdou Toure, who ended up being a 5-star. Billy Richmond coming back. Isaiah Seeley, Mika Muirman, freshman. Cooper Bowser, senior, is a transfer.
I'm going to screw that up all season long.
Paulo Semedo, sophomore, and Maper Maker, center, who's a freshman. So they got 3 big-ish guys, if you want to talk about, whether they got big guys or not. But anyhow, I think what Cal's saying there is like, I got this. Like, it is pretty hilarious for us to sit around and talk about him being the greatest recruiter of all time in college basketball, and then wonder if he can put a roster together. Did he miss again? I don't think so. I think they'll be fine. And I'm not saying they're going to go to the Final Four, but some of that's it's a little bit of a crapshoot. And when you get into that tournament. But as we said earlier, they're going to be relevant. They're going to play in big games. They're going to be fun to watch.
In Cal, we trust.
There you go. Hey, I'll tell you, if you're looking for a great place to live, Chuck's at a golf course right now. Beautiful one. Another beautiful one is in Mountain Home, Arkansas. Big Creek Golf and Country Club. They've just released new home sites. We've been telling you about it. Waking up to bent grass fairways, mountain views, a community that actually feels like one, where the kids can roam and have a great time. Meet other people, welcoming community surrounded by the natural beauty of the Ozarks at a price that might surprise you. BigCreekGolf.com to get more information. Go home, go big, and go home. Have a new home. Big Creek Golf and Country Club. BigCreekGolf.com. I mean, look, this is what we do. We heal the hurting. We touch the hearts. We talk about the things that matter to people.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Life is better with community banking from First Security, where personal connections make a difference every day. Families get bankers who know their names, know their needs, and love to help. Businesses work with responsive lenders who make fast local decisions that help build success. And communities thrive with First Security because our team is rooted here too. Choose the power of personal. First Security. Bank better. FSBank.com, member FDIC.
Flight by Yingling. It's the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling & Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
You know, I love talking about Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, and Bo's latest selling experience is a perfect example of why. Within 5 minutes of listing his home, Bo had a showing, and just 2 days later, he had an offer. And just like my own experience with them, they took care of everything from start to finish. That's what you get when you work with a trained real estate professional. Weicker Realtors, the Griffin Company, has been turning houses into homes since 1978, serving Northwest Arkansas, the River Valley, and Branson. For more information, log on to WeicherGriffin.com.
There's no better place to watch a game than Walk On Sports Bistro. With more than 60 TVs at every location, catch all the summer sports action while you cool off with mouth-watering Louisiana favorites like po' boys and gumbo, plus burgers, ice-cold draft beers, and cocktails made for hot days. Incredible food, outstanding service, and a game day atmosphere that never takes a season off. Visit one of the 5 locations across Arkansas today, including Rogers and Fayetteville. Walk On Sports Bistro. We live for this.
Man, I love spending time at Big Creek Country Club and Mountain Home. The golf, the people, the hospitality, and the events they host always hit the mark. Members enjoy it all. They've got state-of-the-art practice facilities, dining, events, a big pool with a snack and beverage bar, as well as tennis and pickleball courts. There's no initiation fee, and for out-of-towners, a membership is only $185 a month. Big Creek Country Club in Mountain Home. Your home away from home.
You know, see, this is what the Chuck and Bo Show is. You just show up and have coffee with you.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Baseball taught me teamwork, dedication, and the power of community. That's why I'm teaming up with Pascal ProPath to give back to charities that give every kid a chance to play. And right now you can pitch in. For every Pascal member signed up today through the end of May, Pascal will donate a portion of every membership to give back to youth sports. Become a member today, help give back in a big way. Pitch in with Pascal ProPath and help support kids in your community. Join today at pascalpropath.org.
Hey, it's Bo, and I had no idea how little I knew about insurance until my man James Boyette of State Farm started telling me. For over a decade, he's been delivering real value, not just the lowest price. That means helping customers find the right coverage for their life with personalized plans that evolve as life changes. Serving all of Arkansas and Missouri. If you're looking for a true insurance partner, auto, home, life, whatever you need, go to JamesBoyett.com. Looking for the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits? Macadoodles or Guess Who in Bentonville has you covered.
Having what they came down here for in stock on the shelf is very important. You're going to find everything that you could possibly want. I've heard customers tell me, Bo, over the years that they may be sitting around, somebody brings up some weird name whiskey, and somebody will chime in and say, well, if anybody's got it, it's going to be Macadoodles.
Macadoodles, just north of Bella Vista at the state line, and Guess Who in Bentonville.
There's nothing like a day at the ballpark.
Cold Yingling Lager, first pitch. That's how you start it right.
From the oldest brewery in America, it's smooth, balanced, and built for baseball.
But you know how it gets out there. That Arkansas sun's no joke.
That's why you bring a backup plan.
Yingling Light Lager, crisp, refreshing, and ready when the heat kicks in.
Start with lager,
switch to light lager,
and stay cool from the first pitch to the final out. Proud sponsor of the Arkansas Razorbacks.
DG Yingling & Son, Pottsville, Pennsylvania.
Hey, thanks for tuning in this morning. Hang out with Bo and me every weekday morning from 6 to 9 live on YouTube or Twitter, or catch up with the podcast version of the show available on Spotify and Apple.
I've been brain dead for 2 days. Well, some people would argue much longer.
Well,
but I mean,
it's
if
been,
I'm my
it's been
own
noticeable.
personal standard.
It's been noticeable,
Yeah.
really. The
I know, it's just like, ugh.
The Chuck and Bo Show.
Guys, I'm bringing home hats and spud nuts. We got hats.
Oh,
We got
look at
spud
that.
nuts.
Oh,
we got.
that's awesome.
I got a new lid working here. Got lids for you
really
guys.
good. That's amazing. Thank you.
Bringing
Chuck.
back spud nuts. So
Mystic Cove, El Dorado.
Mystic Creek.
What did I say? Cove? Oh,
Cove Creek.
Mystic Cove,
Cove
is
Creek.
a
Mystic.
is a
Mystic.
neighborhood I grew up near.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah, all right.
Just never
Good.
leaves you.
Sounds impressive.
I think I mowed lawns in there when I was
Yeah.
in high school.
That's great.
David's in Searcy. David, good morning.
Good morning, guys. Thanks for getting me on right before you cut off. Listen, we finally boiled down to the finals in the softball. It was great, just like watching the Russians play the North Koreans. I mean, we get down to this, and this is what we're left with.
Wow.
But
That's big.
Chuck, I got to tell you, man.
You never know what's
the
going to
Knicks
happen on a
already-
Friday.
I'm a Knicks man too. They've already won the first one, so there's really not much need to watch tonight because they will not be able to match the intensity that San Antonio has, because San Antonio has to win tonight, and 90% of the time that's exactly what happens. But if the Knicks pull this off and win tonight, it's over. But don't
Knicks in
expect it.
four, baby. Knicks in four.
I look for them to go down tonight anywhere from 10 to 20 points. It's just hard
no
to match
way.
the intensity. Already won what they got to win. But hey, I'm with you, buddy. We'll see you.
All right.
All
Thanks,
right,
David.
there you go. So, but when David hangs up, he hangs up.
Yeah. Well, when he's done, he's done.
Yeah.
Spurs a 6.5-point favorite tonight in San Antonio.
Hey, they were 4.5-point favorites the other night too. Look what happened.
Blowout tonight.
It's National Donut Day. Chuck's bringing us Spud Nuts back. National Start Over Day. Well, Arthur, we should have told Arthur about that earlier. Arthur talked about his bet on the Knicks turning $700 into $1,900 if they win the series, and he's going to buy a new big color television.
Good for him.
Barton
Gotta have
Edward,
goals, man. Gotta have goals.
yeah, Barton Edward pointed out there's much less expensive televisions out there that are really nice.
You can buy a really good TV with the amount of money he put on the Knicks.
They also have one at Sam's Club for $6,000.
Now that's a nice TV.
That's a nice TV. I think Arthur's looking at installation too. Chuck, have a safe trip back.
Thank you, guys.
And everyone have a great weekend. Chuck and Bo on Demand, driven by the Fable Auto
At
Park.
Pascal, comfort and quality are well within reach. For over 50 years, homeowners have